Hello everyone, welcome to the stream. We have Antierg, we have Cleavet, hello, Elminster, Creepy Finger Guns. Good to see all you guys and of course everyone there in the background as well, lurking away. Hello Limewood Gaming, good to see all of you. Welcome, welcome guys. So I have an admission to make. Right off the bat, which is that I've messed up my sleeping schedule. Once again, it's gone around the cycle, it's cycled around. And I actually just woke up and, do you hear this sound, guys? Do you hear that? Anyone guess what that is? Yes, it's my morning coffee. And it is, over here in Finland, it is... What time is it? It is just 6 o'clock right now in the afternoon, or in the evening, rather. And I woke up an hour ago, guys. I know, it's so bad. It's so weird, guys. I have this issue that my sleeping, like I stay up a little bit later every day, and then the whole cycle just flips all around once again. Hello Tuxie and Drogos, good to see you guys. I know, it's just so bad. And you have the same thing, Scarred? Oh my goodness, so I'm glad I'm not the only one. And actually, you know what I just noticed, which is kind of cool? Like, this was not intentional. So we have got the old servers here on the right-hand side. We've got the new servers on the left-hand side. And I set these up like literally just like seconds before I started the stream. And look how the mountain actually like meets up here. It almost looks like it's like a continuation. And I swear, guys, this was not intentional. It was not intentional. I just wanted to have a nice view for both like the old servers and the new servers. So welcome on in everyone, and I know that isn't that crazy, Tuxie? That is very crazy. Anyhow, guys, we are here. It's Tuesday. We're in Wurm Online once again, and you can probably hear that my like voice is kind of squiggly because I just woke up. You know how it takes some time, like during the day, to get your voice kind of going, and it's all squiggly in the morning and squawky and weird. So it's gonna take some time. I'm gonna have to get that coffee down my throat, and it'll probably all smooth out later on. But right now, it's still like your sort of wake up voice. Anyhow, it is Tuesday, and we all know what that means. That means it is Wurm Roulette Day. Every Tuesday, we play Wurm Online, and we go and explore an area I've never been to in Wurm before. And, yeah, you need 2 hours, same Tuxie, I know, right? Hello, Del Race, good to see you. What else? I had something else I want to talk about. Oh yes, well I'll show that in a moment. There's something that I'm a little bit upset about. Well, it's just a small minor thing, but I'm gonna share it with you. It has to do with Wurm, and I'm gonna have to. I guess I'm gonna have to make a bug report. I'm not sure what the heck is going on, but I'll show that in a moment. But first of all, let's get back to the Wurm Roulette topic here. So what the heck is Wurm Roulette? It is a thing where every Tuesday we go to a random location here in Wurm Online, and we go and see what's there. We'll choose a location that I've never been to before, and the way that we do that is, let's just shut this one because I don't have to do my notifications anymore. And we'll shut that one as well. And what we actually have to start off with is this random picker wheel. Because we are going to choose, are we going to go on to the Northern Isles, which are the new servers, or are we going to go to the Southern Isles? So let's just click the wheel and see what happens. Southern Isles it is, so we're going to the old servers today, guys. The next thing we have to choose is, so we can just shut down the new servers maps. We'll just go over here, and we're going to press this button, which will plonk down a marker. Now, if you have never seen this map before, if you've never been to one of my Wurm Roulette streams before, you might be looking at this and wondering what the heck this is. What are all those weird blue circles all over the place? So this basically represents, all of the circles represent the previous Wurm Roulette streams, and the numbers represent the number of the stream that has been saved into YouTube and also in in Steam stream. What am I talking about? In Twitch as well. And so here you can see the very first Wurm Roulette was on the server of Deliverance, for instance. Now, last week we were on Harmony, and we actually ended up, speaking of Elminster, we ended up visiting Elminster as well as several others over on Harmony on the new servers. But this week we're ending up on the old servers, and also these areas that are blue, they're just areas that I have explored just on my own through just normal gameplay. And the whole point of Wurm Roulette is to go and explore an area I've never been to in Wurm. So this is starting to fill up, guys. It is starting to fill up. We're seeing that, for instance, from Celebration, we have pretty much explored almost the entire server. There's still the lower corner left. Independence is about halfway. Deliverance is almost full. Also, Release is almost full. Xanadu is about halfway, so it's coming along. Hello, Cinnamon. Welcome to the stream. Good to see you, and thank you so much for that host. Welcome on in. Tervetuloa. Cinnamon is actually another Wurm streamer, and I have been watching their streams now for a few times and really enjoying them. Also from Finland. And thank you so much, Elminster, for that host as well. You sweetie pie, you. I know you hate it when I compliment you, so I'm going to compliment you twice as much. Thank you very much, guys. And hello, Joda. Welcome. So what happens, asks Tuxi, when it is going to be all filled up? Do we just start over? That is a good question, Tuxi. No, it'll be complete. Wurm Roulette is going to end at that point, and we're going to have to think of something else. Now, something that a lot of people actually contact me about that kind of misunderstand the whole Wurm Roulette thing is that they contact me and ask me, Cats, can you come please visit my deed? Cats, I want you to come see my deed. My goodness, thank you so much for that subscription, Cinnamon. Cinnamon, have you been, I'm trying to think if I've seen, I've been wanting to see you here on my stream just so I can, have a chat back with you in voice, but, so it's like the other way around, so I can ask you questions more fluently and stuff. But I'm trying to think if I've seen you actually. Have you been lurking in the background perhaps? Maybe you've been lurking and I haven't, or maybe you have said hello and I just didn't notice, but good to have you here. Good to have you here. So what's going to happen? Yeah, so people contact me all the time like, Cats, please come and visit my deed. So maybe, this is just a maybe what we'll start after the Wurm Roulette whole thing is complete is maybe we'll start visiting taking requests to visit people's deeds. I'm not sure yet. I'm not sure. We'll see. And hello, Jure. Welcome to the stream. Oh, you've been lurking, Simon. I see. But not today. Good. Yes, always nice to see familiar faces and say hello. And, because I always like to personally, welcome people and make them feel comfy and cozy here. So anyhow, guys, let's get right down to picking a destination. So when I press this button, it is going to randomly plonk a marker here somewhere on the map. So let's just get to it. 3, 2, 1, pick destination. And obviously we're not going to go to an area that already has blue on it since it's already been explored. So we'll just press it again. And of course, every time, as this starts to fill up, we are going to run into this problem that we're going to have to press again and again until it lands on an unexplored area. And let's just press again. Oh my gosh, Cinnamon, that is so kind of you. Cinnamon has gifted a tier 1 sub to Jure, and it's their first gift sub on the channel. Thank you so much, Cinnamon. That is very, very kind of you. Kiitos lahjatilauksesta. Ah, there you got a little sample of my finish, by the way. Well, I guess if you've been lurking, you've heard it before. Okay, let's try this again. Okay, this one I like. This one I like. We have not been to Independence in a very long time, and for those who are new to Wurm, Independence is the oldest PvE server. In fact, it is, what is it, 11 or 12 years old? I think it's 12 years old now. So we are going to Independence, so let's take a screenshot of that. I will fire up Photoshop, and we're going to replace that map you see on the right-hand side there with this week's destination. So that is, I'm really happy that we're going to go to Independence. It has been a long time since we've been there. So let's just go here and just plonk that in and get it into the right position. Let's see, Independence over here. Like so, we can turn off that text. Yes, something like this. I kind of want it to be a little bit more visible. So maybe what we'll do is this, and then we're going to put the text and just write in Independence. Like so. We'll put that right over there. Good. I think that's how you write it, isn't it? I think so. Or maybe we'll just put this actually down here. It's a little bit more clear. There. Perfect. Okay, so we're going to save this and just replace it and make sure it actually replaces here in the screen. Good. And that's good to go then. And also we want to, well, we've got these two clients open here. So we're going to just shut down the new servers. Goodbye, Safarina. And we are going to go full screen here on the old servers. Right now we're here on Xanadu. So my location, let me just move Cats over here. So you see that pink dot on the lower left? We are on the server of Xanadu, which is the largest server in Wurm. And I have an entire island to myself here in the bottom lower corner. And that is where we're going to be departing from. And so I just need to make sure. Okay, now we can actually talk about the thing that bothers me. So I noticed something today in Wurm that bothers me actually quite a bit, because if you were at my last Wurm Roulette stream, and let's actually mark the location also on the map here quickly. Hold on, so Independence, and that would be, oh, right above this little sharp thing here, right there. Right there. And that's where we're gonna go today. Like so. Ah, what did I do? Let's try that again. You can only have a maximum of 50 annotations. Okay, we've got to remove some of these old ones then. Right there. Perfect. Good. Actually, yeah. I don't like how it's not pointing exactly on the spot. Let me just put it a little bit higher. So the pointy thing points right down at the location. Well, that's close enough. We'll remember from this map. I mean, if we look at this map here, we can see that it's sort of just above that little mountain right there. So, okay, that's good enough. I'm happy with that. And here, let's talk about the thing that I'm not very happy with, okay? So if you were at my last Wurm Roulette stream, you would have remembered how proudly, how happily, how delighted I was when I was showing you guys how I had put together this thing where I had a roulette. So you can make these like subfolders in your inventory. Let's just start off right there. So you can do it through right-clicking inventory, the top here, and then add group, and then you can just give it a name and you can add groups here to organize your crap, right? Now, the problem is, or like, here's where the problem comes in, is that I thought I was being such a smart cookie by making a category called a roulette, and actually this should probably be called Wurm Roulette. Let's just call it Wurm Roulette. And I thought I was being such a smart cookie. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So actually, this is interesting, guys. Interesting. Let me just check this once again in my other client, because it seems that it's working here in the old servers, but that's is that because I have stuff in all of these? So here's the issue. Let me just double check with this one. So here's the issue. I logged on today, and some of the I've never done like subfolders of a folder before, you see? I've only done the folders. But this was the first time I did a subfolder, so I could organize all the crap that I need to take on the Wurm Roulette adventures. And it had deleted some of the subfolders, at least on Safarina. Let me just see if I'm just imagining things. Let's just check. Let's just see if Kats is just getting senile here or not. I've got to take a slurp of this coffee, by the way. Okay, let's see. I made one for this one. Yeah, see. I am not imagining things, guys. How weird is this? So I did identical subfolders. You guys saw it who were here a week ago. I had done identical subfolders both on the new servers as well as the old servers. And I'm not sure why the subfolders have deleted themselves. Is it because they don't have stuff in them that they just delete? Maybe somebody can say in the chat there. Now, but then again, I'm looking at this, that yes, I do have stuff in these ones. However, I didn't have anything in the horse gear, unless that was the, no, it was in this, it was in this one that I had the, I think I had like a butchering knife, or no, some other item, I think, and I dragged it away. But horse gear would have been empty, so it didn't delete it from here. That's so weird. I'm gonna have to look into that a little bit closer. Okay, so I was not imagining things, though. It actually has removed the subfolders from Safarina's inventory, so I don't know what's going on there, but at least we have the ones here. So the purpose of these subfolders is because there's so much crap that I have to remember to take every week when we go in the Wurm Roulette stream, that I always forget something. So I wanted to make this kind of Wurm Roulette one where I have everything I need for the adventure. So let's just check through this. We've got our cotton for healing. We've got some booze if we need to do mountain climbing. We've got some food. We've got water. Well, I also have an additional water one. We've got our tent. We've got our sign. So the point is that once we reach the location, I plant a wooden sign that says KatsPurr was here. So we've got our sign. Horse gear is on the horse here. And we'll just remove that if we go. Well, we are going to Independence, so we're going to be removing that. And we need some taming grass to get the saddle back on if we go to another server, as well as our butchering knife. Okay. Well, it looks like we're good to go, actually, with this character. I wonder, by the way, this large chest skin, I'm not sure if that's something I can put in my inventory or not, because I don't really want to take it with me, do I? So let's just... where am I going? We need to go over to this side. Yes, let's go over here. And you're going to get a little mini tour here of my island here on Xanadu at the same time. So I've got like a horse market down here where I sell 5-speed horses that also have spark in their eyes, so they actually live longer. Let's just check, by the way, since we're here, let me just check very quickly whether I've gotten any sales today. I had a huge, like something really, somebody came by the other day and literally bought almost all my horses the other day. It was crazy. Sometimes it'll go months with no purchases whatsoever, and then sometimes there's these sudden spurts where somebody buys a whole bunch of horses. Let's just see. 17 hours. Yes, there's been 17 hours. Okay, so there have been more horse purchases here. I haven't checked those yet, but it looks like there is money indeed there. So if you're new to Wurm and you're wondering, oh, how do you sell horses in a market, Cats? So the way that you would do that is that you put horses into stalls like this, and then you sell the keys to those stalls, to the gates of the stalls. You sell those on a merchant, and this is the main way that I have been making money now for to pay my way in the game now for several years. So yeah, I'm gonna have to check those horses after Wurm Roulette today and make sure, update, you know, my chart and everything. So that's good to see that we have had some sales. Oh, now I remember what I wanted to do, and I'll catch up with you guys in the chat any second. Well, as soon as we head off on the Nora, I will catch up with you guys. So let's just make sure we leave everything behind that we don't need to take with us. So we don't need the new locks. We don't need a branding iron. We don't need, I just want to get all the weight off that I don't want to. Oh yes, it was the, let's leave the money behind as well. What was it I wanted to leave behind? I wanted to leave this thing behind. Can I? No. So that's a, I guess that's a no drop item then. Okay. So, but I'm guessing that I wouldn't lose it if I died. I hope not. Okay, so let's just get all of this gear off the horse and put it into the horse gear folder. Like so. And then pack the horse into the creature cage. So if you're new to Wurm, just know that if you want to take an animal across the server border to another server, you're going to have to put it into a creature cage, because horses will not, even though they normally will follow you if you lead them with a rope. They will follow you as you're going on your ship. However, if you cross a server border, the horse will just stay behind if you're just leading it. You have to take it in a creature cage. And obviously you're going to have a boat that is large enough to actually hold a creature cage. So let's just plot the course to Independence. And we need to figure out, by the way, okay, so the optimal would be to go to, actually, if we just come through here, this is good enough, I think. Yeah, that's fine. We'll just cross the server border over to Independence, and then we'll just sail south from there. Okay, now as we sail out of away from my island, let's just have that kind of view, and I'll catch up with you guys in the chat here and slurp my coffee. By the way, guys, so as many of you know, I have been just self-quarantining since the beginning of March. I've only been outside once in all these months because I do have medical conditions that would make me at more risk if I were to get corona, or COVID-19. And my son has been with me here at home as well all this time, but he just started a new job. He has to get his training, his trainee position done for being able to graduate from his college, And so he's been working, he's been going to work now for a couple of weeks. And I don't know, guys, I have a weird kind of little, there's something in my throat today. There's like a little bit of a cough going on. And I hope that it is just, you know, some other bacteria or virus or something like that. And I'm not feeling sick or anything like that, but it's just this weird little cough that I haven't had all these months. And now that he started the work, I don't know. I hope it's nothing though. I hope it's just me. You know how like when you wake up in the morning and you're kind of like groggy and you kind of have to like cough and stuff. Oh, thanks, Elminster. So I'm just going to scroll back the chat here. I'm going to slurp on my coffee, my morning coffee, and I'll catch up with all the stuff that you guys have been saying here. And if I already didn't say so, hello, good afternoon to you as well, Joda. And oh, well, Tuxie, you were saying when we were talking about like what happens once Wurm Roulette, the Wurm Roulette map has fully filled up. And you had a good point that, well, cats, the world is always changing. That's true. But, you know, it's kind of nice to have a finality to something as well. It's kind of nice to complete something also. So, yeah. Okay. Hello, River Dog. Welcome to the stream. Good to have you join us. Hello, Ella Dog. It's been a while. How have you been? Just popping in to say hello. Good, always good to see you, Ella Doc. And let me just see here. Didn't sleep in a bed, Savage Cats. Yeah. Well, the reason I didn't sleep with this character, if you're talking about my character and not me in real life, is because actually her sleep bonus is absolutely full right now. So. Oh, you're talking probably about Safarina, that she should make use of those hours, shouldn't she? You're right. Let's actually put Safarina into a bed. That's right. Let's do that so she can get her sleep bonus. We might as well, right? So Zed Cobra, you were asking, what do the ZZZZs mean on some blue circles? So those have basically been streams that I felt were so freaking boring that I didn't even bother saving a VOD, didn't bother exporting to YouTube, that I just felt were like such a yawn fest that I didn't want to even bother saving them. So they were kind of like streams where whatever location I went to see, there was like nothing there, and nothing happened along the way. Nothing eventful happened, so it was like just kind of pointless to save those at all. Yeah, that's what those were all about. So what Zed Gopra is referring to is these ones. There's like ZZZ, you know, like a falling asleep thing. There's another one over here. So to be honest, I mean, when you think about it, to think that like all of these, what are there, like 44? Yeah, last week's was 44th. Which is on the other map, because that was Harmony. To think that 44 Wurm Roulette streams have been done, and there was only 2 super boring ones that I didn't pass for saving, it's not too bad, actually. It's not too bad at all. And it looks like Elminster was already answering that question. Thank you, Elminster. Hello, Serotonin. Welcome to the stream. Oh, your deed is in one of those ZZZ areas at Cobra. Oh, I see. Let me just see here. I'm going to slurp away. And Cinnamon, today is the first day that you realize I'm also in Finland. Oh, yeah, I think I did mention that on your stream, but you know, on the other hand, Cinnamon, you know what I also understand is like when people visit your stream. And you know what the problem, guys? Here's the problem, okay? So when you guys hear me explain stuff on my stream, it's really easy for you to remember because you can attach the memory of something I say to not only the visual of my stream, but my voice, right? Now, when you guys say something in the chat The only thing I can attach that to is the name. And if it's somebody who has been hung out on my stream a lot that I already know, that's really, really easy. So my brain will connect that, for instance, you know, Elminster has the best stories ever, okay? Or maybe Elminster says something like, "I want to see the smart cookie." Okay, so I immediately will attach that to Elminster because he's already like deep in my brain, right? But when there's like people who come and visit the stream, maybe they haven't been there very many times yet, maybe they're new, or else there's just something that I haven't been able to attach that memory to. So I remember Elminster because I've been to his stream, right? But then a lot of you most of you probably aren't streamers. And then there's the problem that there is no visual. All you see is the text of your name, right? There's no icon, there's no voice, there's no visual image to attach to your name. And so sometimes when people will tell me about stuff, and I don't, my brain can't connect that to a visual or an audio experience. It goes in sort of like into my brain and then goes out again. It's like I don't remember those things as well. It takes a while. Like once somebody has started to hang out more on my stream, then it starts to like, I will start to make those connections. But I think that maybe so the point that I'm trying to make here is that Cinnamon, if you didn't remember that I had mentioned that, it would be totally understandable because I think I mentioned it on the very first time I was on your stream, and I don't think you made a connection at all to me or anything like that, because of course you didn't know me yet. I was just one name amongst many other names in the chat, right? But yeah, I do live in Finland, so I'm the one who is from Canada originally. My mum is Finnish. And I was born in Canada, but my mom, she was like a single mom. So they divorced very, very when I was just a baby, really. And my mom was this kind of, how would I say, restless person, levoton, restless, levoton person. Levoton is restless in Finnish. Oh, look at that beautiful view, guys. And so she... when I was 7 years old, we moved to Finland. I went to the first and second grade in Finland. Then, things were not going so well for her again, and she decided we're going to go back to Canada. And we lived in Canada for a few years again. And then we moved back to Finland when I was 13. And, it was like every time things weren't really going so well for her in life, she would move us between Canada and Finland, which, there's one bad side to that, and that is that, those long-lasting, first of all, not having, a home to call home. If somebody were to ask me, where did you grow up, or where was your home, your original home? I didn't really have one because even when we were living, let's say if we were to live 5 years in Canada, even between those times, she would move within the city from place to place. So I was always changing schools, always changing my friends. Not that I wanted to, of course, but it was, as a little kid, you're friends basically with people who are at your school or in your neighborhood, right? So, of course, there's this negative side that I was not able to have kind of a place that I can call home, and not able to ground myself to any place. But also those disconnected friendships made me I had kind of a very, very, very bad self image when I was smaller, because I was always the new kid, and since I wasn't very charismatic when I was a kid, I was usually the one everyone picked on anyway. They could sort of sense that vulnerability. So it was a little bit of a rough time because of that. Now the good side, there's always a silver lining, right? Now the good side to having a childhood like that is that you also learn to be quite bold in life, that you're not afraid of change, you're not afraid of new adventures, you're not afraid of trying new things, you're not afraid of making new, friendships and stuff like that. So, it had both good and bad sides. If I were to think about like which one I would have preferred to stay in one place, I think I do prefer the way it actually went down in the end. That's I've talked many times, guys, about how independent I am. I think it stems from that kind of childhood. That's why I'm so independent and want to do everything just myself. But let me just catch up with you guys here before I ramble on and on too much. And yeah, just coming back to like how I ended up in Finland, like in the end, like permanently, is because, after moving between Finland and Canada when I was a kid so many times, so the last time we moved over with my mom was when I was 13. And then when I was 18, me and my mom were fighting quite a bit. So I said to my mom, that's it. I'm going to go back to Canada. I'm going to go live with dad. And so I moved to Canada when I was 18, and I lived there for 1 year. I got into all kinds of adventures, both good and bad. But I realized during that 1 year that, I really miss Finland. Finland is the place for me. And actually, so I moved back to Finland when I was 19. I made that decision as an adult now. What is the place that I want to settle down in? Where is the place that I actually want to live? And Finland was my choice. And I remember coming back when I was 19 and just coming on the plane as it flew over Helsinki, and as I saw the pine trees and the lakes of Finland, and I just bawled my eyes out because I felt so nostalgic and so happy to be back in Finland. And I have been here ever since, and I haven't actually visited Canada a single time in all these years. I haven't even taken my sons to Canada. So that's how. So I've been in Canada now, in Finland rather, nonstop since 1988 when I turned 19. So yeah, and I love it here in Finland. I love it. Man, my voice is still pretty squiggly, guys. I'm gonna have to slurp down more of this coffee and just see what you guys are saying here. So Cinnamon, you were saying about the sub folders. You thought that they hide if nothing is in them. Oh, so maybe that. But how do I get it back though? Or do you mean that they just delete them if there's nothing in them? And hello there, Dank Snoopy. Welcome to the stream. That is a funny name you've got there. Welcome on in, Dank. So are you a Wurm player as well? And hello, Blue Forest. Welcome. Good to see you. Happy to see another Tuesday. Wurm Roulette, says Blue Forest. And Cinnamon, I'm making you miss independence. Yeah. So Independence, like, I think the map itself, when you look at the map of Independence, it is really weird. Like, it's got these weird, let's just look over here. It's got these weird, like, if you look at the mountain range here on Xanadu, it looks relatively normal, but then you look at this thing, you see these weird balls of these mountains, right? But actually, when you're sailing around, it doesn't look too bad when you're down on the level of the ground, It just looks weird on the map, really. But yeah, you guys will see. Independence has some pretty nice landscapes, I have to say. Autumn cough, says Cinema. Maybe. Yeah, I hope so too, Serotonin. I hope I'm not sick. Yeah. Hello, Servan. Welcome to the stream. Good to see you. And Serotonin, Cats, what was the movie you recommended on Elminster's channel? Well, my number one would have been Leon, the Professional, Serotonin. So anyone who's been on my stream when we've talked about movies, I've always said how Leon is my absolute number one favorite. So yeah, Elminster, man, you gotta see Leon. If you have not seen that yet, oh my gosh, you have missed out big time. Absolutely fantastic performance by Natalie Portman. Portman. To be quite honest, I didn't actually like Natalie Portman in the Star Wars movies. I felt she was quite limp there, and I haven't actually. I think she's like gorgeous, but her acting, I don't know, it just doesn't convince me as an adult. All of her roles as an adult actor, they haven't really convinced me. They haven't moved me. They're not memorable, but oh my gosh, her performance in Leon is absolutely amazing. It was her first acting gig, as far as I know. And of course, Gary Oldman, he's my probably, I would probably say he's my favorite male actor. And he is, oh, his role as a bad cop, as a bad guy, he's absolutely like terrifying. Thank you so much for the follow, Yoda. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, Gary Oldman. Oh man, Elminster, you gotta see that. You gotta see that film. You gotta. If you don't watch any other film that I have, like when we were looking through that IMDb list of mine one time on my stream, I didn't even mention any of those like blockbuster movies to you because I just assumed you had seen them all, but I was not aware that you haven't seen Leon. You've got to see that. It is so good. Man, like you guys remember, those of you who have seen Leon, like one of the moments that always sticks to my brain is the moment rather to the beginning of the film where Leon is returning from the store and he comes up the steps and he sees what's going on. I'm not going to reveal anything because I don't want to give anything away, but he sees what's going on, and his first proper interaction with the little girl, which is Natalie Portman, that moment when Natalie Portman, well, I'm not going to say anything, but that first interaction that they have, holy shit, that is amazing. And I'm sorry I cursed there, guys, but I have to curse. It is so, it's one of the most memorable like movie moments ever. Yeah. Let me just see here. Okay, we are now, should be on Independence. Let's see. So if everything is going correctly, let me just double check because we had that one thing where I totally messed up the other week. Let's just disembark and just make sure is south good? So what we're going to do is we're going to head over into this direction. So right now we've just arrived here. We're going to, that looks like that island over there is those ones. We're going to head down into this area here. And I'm just thinking that that's going to be too easy to access. Well, then again, we could go plant the sign and then we could just explore. Let's do it that way, yeah. So let's just put that back over there and we'll just put the view something like that, and I'll continue catching up with you guys. And Cinnamon, it sounds like the autumn cold you're starting to have. Oh no. Oh gosh, so annoying. Yes, yeah, Seren, I'm not, or maybe you're probably talking to Cinnamon there. And you were about to end and go to sleep when I raided, so I was also very sleepy. Oh, right. And I think you vaguely remember my message now. Yeah. No problem at all. Because you will notice, Cinnamon. I'm always saying on my stream that when I ask people that, have you been to my stream before? Or else I forget something that they said and they said, yes, I've been here, and it's so embarrassing when I have to say that, oh man, I'm so sorry, I didn't remember. And hello, Physic, welcome to the stream. Tainted Cat's Brain, yes, that's right, Elminster. And Zetron, hello. And you remember now when I, with the mention of Canada, gotcha, Cinema, yes. Hello, Kamano, welcome to the stream. Yeah, Zehtran, I had to make friends every few years. Well, luckily, guys, back when I was a little girl, back then, people had pen pals. people actually sent physical snail mail to each other, and I was a big letter writer, so I had several pen pals that I was sending letters to, and obviously also my old friends, and I still have their letters, guys. I've kept every single letter I ever got in my life. So I have all my love letters. I've got all of those letters I sent to friends when I was a little girl, believe it or not, and they're all packed away in a cupboard. And I've been lugging those around, guys, because I've been moving around in the world. Imagine that, guys. I've been moving between Finland and Canada. I've moved, like, I counted one time how many actual, like, different neighborhoods I had lived in during when I was a child. 11 different neighborhoods in my between 0 and 18 years old. That's quite a few homes. Wurm is my home, says Elminster. I guess so. Bittersweet story, Seren. Yes. Yeah, good that I found my place finally, Seren. Yes, I feel at home here in Finland for sure. Yeah, it is lumpy, Cinnamon. Those mountains are pretty lumpy, that's for sure. Kind of like Cadence looks boring on the map, but super pretty in-game. Yes, that's true. Although I have to say that I have a preference for really high mountains. That's why I love Xanadu so much, and that's why I also live on Melody here on the new servers, or rather over on the new servers, because I love those high mountains on Melody. But otherwise, Melody is kind of a pain in the butt because we don't have any resources, we don't have any animals, we don't have nothing. Everything's so packed in. And Serotonin, you know, Leon, you love that movie, but it was a comedy movie about a girl that was scorned. Oh, that sounds familiar. Let me think. Movie about a girl that was scorned. Comedy. Movie. Girl scorned. Oh gosh, Serotonin. That sounds familiar. I'm gonna have to put my brain to work and see if I can remember what you're talking about. And Elminster, you have Leon up on the side. You're going to watch it soon. Good. Good, Elminster. Good. Oh, the Finnish movie. Oh, that was not a comedy. I'll tell you right now. That is not a comedy. So guys, let me just explain this. So I was hanging out on Elminster's stream the other day, you know, just in the chat, and we were talking, everyone was talking about movies for hours, and Elminster was talking about his favorite movies, and then I was saying that if you ever watch a single Finnish movie, if there was one movie to ever see from Finland, I recommended Tulitikku tehtaan tyttö, the Matchbox Factory Girl, I think it is in English, and I was giving the Arena link for that. Let me just see. Arena Tulitikku. I think this should work. So let me just see if this. You guys can test and tell me if this actually works, or if there's like a regional thing. I think it's supposed to work for people outside of Finland as well. This should probably be it. By Aki Kaurismäki, who is a legendary. So Mika and Aki Kaurismäki are two brothers, kind of like the Finnish Coen brothers in a way, if you think about it. Like, they're two brothers who are both like movie directors, and they've done a lot of cult films. Like, all of their films like have a cult status in Finland. And this is the movie that I was recommending. And let me just give this. If I just give that link, you guys can test outside of Finland and see if that works for you. And then you just have to make sure so there is actually like a test, the text. So it has very little speech actually. If you look through this, you can see there's very little speech. You don't see the text very much, but you need to turn it on from this one. So this is all in Finnish. That's why I was giving Elminster some. Let me just shut that. So here you go here, and then you go to subtitles here. So it's all in Finnish and Swedish otherwise, and that might not be so easy for people to find. But can somebody test that outside of Finland and tell me if that link actually works? So this is a cult film. It tells the story of this girl who works in a match factory, and she has the most dismal, depressing life, and no boys like her, and her parents abuse her mentally, and everything is just like shit in her life. And things just get worse and worse, and it's my favorite Finnish film personally. I think there's something quite magical about the Kaurismäki movies because they capture a kind of morose, depressing side of Finnish people. I wouldn't say that Finnish people are like that so much anymore, but they were. It would have been more to the truth, I think, back in the day. Certainly, there is still that kind of depressive element to Finnish people, and that sounds bad, I know, but let me just say also that I love Finnish people because they have good and bad sides just like any people in the world. And what I love about Finnish people, I just have to say this to kind of balance things out, is that Finnish people are some of the most honest, direct, down-to-earth, blunt people you'll ever meet. And I love the bluntness. I love that when I have a discussion with a Finnish person, there's not going to be all this like this syrupy, like nicey, fake laughing, fake niceties, fake compliments kind of thing that you'll see from people from North America. And I know as a Canadian, I probably come off as one of those annoying North Americans with all their sweet, syrupy compliments. But I'm going to tell you right now, guys, if I give a compliment, I have enough Finnish in me that if I give a compliment, yes, I sound like a sweetie pie when I give it, but it is all I say honestly how I feel as well. And I will also give very direct negative feedback. So it's all honest, the good and the bad. So if you hear a compliment from me, you'll know that it's actually completely genuine. But that's that genuine is actually the word that best describes Finnish people. They're very, very genuine. You always know where you stand with Finnish people. You always know that there's not this pressure to do the whole social, chit chat thing, to like invent like topics to talk about, even if you're not in the mood to talk about anything. And if you're in a grumpy mood, with a Finnish person, you can feel absolutely free to just be grumpy. You don't have to pretend like you're in a good mood. And it's all good. Like everyone is just in the mood that they are. So you always know when, like, what kind of mood somebody's in as well. Whereas in North America, I always found that everyone puts on this kind of fake, like, friendly stance, and they could be having the shittiest day in their lives and you would never know. And of course the good side about that is that it's always pleasant. It is admittedly pleasant to talk to people from North America, but you're not quite sure where you stand. You're not quite sure how they feel about you. If they say something like, hey, let's meet up sometime. Let's grab a coffee sometime. You don't actually know whether they're like genuinely interested in going for a coffee with you. If a Finnish person tells you, hey, let's go for a coffee sometime, they actually mean it. If somebody doesn't like you in Finland, they will absolutely, well, they're not necessarily going to be mean to you, but you can tell for sure if they are not a fan of you, and then you don't have to waste your time second guessing. So I love that aspect of Finnish people for sure. And of course, you can't really you can't stereotype everyone, of course, according to that, or you can't like say everyone is following that stereotype, but I would say for the majority, people are like that over here, and I love it. And that's actually why I like Elminster's stream as well, because Elminster is like, other than all of his compliments, so Elminster, when you give me compliments, I feel just as uncomfortable as you do, so we gotta stop that. I'll promise to stop complimenting you, Elminster, if you promise to stop complimenting me, okay? Let's make a deal. And let's just see here. Yeah, that's the moment I'm talking about, serotonin, with Natalie Portman's, like, that moment there in Leon. Yes, it's so heart-wrenching. It is really heart-wrenching, that spot. Yes. Elminster, you're not too far from stop watching the stream and then put a movie on. And you'll make an IMDb list for me. Excellent, Elminster. Yeah, the only reason I say IMDb is just, or IDBM, or IMDb, yes. The only reason I think that one is just because it's so handy because it's got all the movies, right? That's the only place I can really think of unless you were to make a textual list. But it's just easier to do it that way. And Cinnamon says, everyone from Melody seems to come from Cadence, or comes to Cadence to steal our animals. No! Well, Cinnamon, I have a guilty admission to make. When Cadence first opened, I came and looked for the rare horse colors, because I was missing a couple of colors from my herd, because I'm going to be selling horses. But after that, I haven't touched your guys' horses at all. It was just on the first couple days. Viking, we just bore them. Hello, Viking. No, it wasn't a comedy, Serotonin. It wasn't a comedy, no. And you found it, the Match Factory girl, yes. And the link does work. Oh, you gave them the link as well. Thanks, Elminster. Yeah, I'm a little bit late here. You have an urge to learn Dothraki, says Viking. So people, Cinnamon, you might find this quite amusing, and the others from Finland here, you guys might find this quite amusing, that when I have this thing where you can like purchase like a translation to Finnish, people say it sounds like Dothraki from Game of Thrones, which is hilarious. I can see the connection though. Jure, I believe you need to log in to view from elsewhere from EU. The program is not available, says Riverdog. And it works for Elminster. Okay, interesting. Zalo says, ohjelma ei ole katsottavissa ulkomailla. So for Zalo, it's not working. Doesn't work for Rick. Interesting. Oh, maybe Elminster has a VPN? Perhaps? And Yotonibes, hello, welcome to the stream. You need to have an inscription on it. Only works for Euro. It's Eurozone. Oh. So only in the EU. It says here in Austria. Okay. So it works in the EU. And I think Austria is in the EU, isn't it? And Creepy Finger, you wish all your co-workers were Finnish. And Siren says, European people are mostly more direct and not so much nicey-nicey in discussions. Americans can find that sometimes rude. Yeah. Yep, absolutely, Siren. That's right. When we had like Americans come to our workplaces who moved over to work with us, in the studios I was working in, their first reaction was like, man, people are rude over here. But it's just being direct. And, it's also like if somebody says something directly to you, the way Finnish people see it is that it is a display of respect. Because if you're acting all nicey and cheesing it on with all this syrupy stuff, in a way you're acting in a patronizing way towards that person you're talking to, right? You are in a way kind of doubting their intelligence and their ability to see through the bullshit, right? So Finnish people make an assumption that you have enough intelligence to see through the bullshit, so they just skip the bullshit altogether. So it's a display of respect. That's how I see it, at least. And Tuxie, this always annoys you now when you talk to people from home, from Canada. They always start conversations with, how are you? And you're always supposed to say, great, how are you? It's such a waste of time. Yeah. And nobody ever says, this is a classic thing that nobody ever actually says how they actually are. They just, it's just this like little phrase to do. And Jure, that's why you're often disappointed in people saying, yeah, that's a good idea, when they mean that they don't like it. Yeah. Elminster, sorry, I can't stop. Cat's stream is too good. And Tuxi, so what country do you live in again? So you're originally from, so where are you originally from and where do you now live? I think you did mention that one time, but I just don't remember. Hello, Perry Hellion, welcome to the stream. And Elminster, you have one stream site that works, but it has no English subs, right? But for you, it worked, right, Elminster? It worked. The link worked for you, though. So I guess, but you were just probably talking about for others. You would have wanted to check a link. Viking says Dothraki sounds a bit more harsh, I would say, than Finnish. And Elminster, you might have something odd in your PC because your cousin built it and is a nerd, so they might have set things up in a way that bypasses those restrictions. Then perhaps Viking, but it's just Cat's niceness that shines through. Yeah, I try to be nice. I try to be positive. I try to be nice, but for sure, you know, if I'm in a bad mood or if I'm grumpy about something or if something pisses me off, I will definitely show it as well. So let's just kind of stop and figure out where the heck we are here before I go forward with the chat. So there's the islands over there. There's the lower one. Okay, so we just have to keep on going. And there's this mountain, which is probably these two over here. So we're going to have to pass those. Yes, okay, good. And let's just look at a view of the shoreline here as we go past. Drogo says Norway is not in the EU, so that explains why you get the login box. Right. Yeah, you shouldn't have to log in to use it. No. Yeah, no logging in. No. Oh, that's right. You guys are in Norway. Tuxi and Drogos are in Norway. Right. I remember now. That's right. We've talked about the Norway stuff. That's right. Silly cats. Serotonin, you always say that you're terrible when somebody asks how are you doing and throws people off. I love it. Hello, D. Jensen. Welcome to the stream. That's right. Now I remember that discussion, Tuxi. That's right. So you're originally from Ontario and you're now in Norway. We have talked about that Norway stuff, yes. And the link did work for you, Elminster. Well, I'm glad because I really want you to see that film as well, because then at least you can say I've seen a film from Finland, right? And it really is, you know what that film needs, Elminster? No distractions, lights off, so that you can fully immerse yourself in the film and just get into the whole vibe of how depressing it is. Oh my gosh, Cats, what are you doing? Recommending these depressing films. Yeah, okay, thanks for understanding, Drogos. And Viking, you have some pale ale if I'm thirsty. Well, actually, Viking, we're here on the old servers. We're about to go to Independence now. But I will definitely stop by with Safarina later on. Yes, full immersion, Elminster, yes. And Zalo, maybe a box of tissues and some popcorn. Yeah, it's very sad, the film. I'm not sure if it's sad enough to actually make you cry, though. Perhaps. Yeah, very far from home, Viking. That's right. And you see what I mean, guys, is that even though the mountains on the map, and I finally caught up with the chat, by the way, even though the mountains are these like balls, basically, these weird things, they don't look too bad from down here, do they? They're kind of okay. They definitely have their own look to them, though, compared to other servers. And Almas, do you cry at dumb, sad movies? Well, it's not a dumb movie, but it's definitely a sad one. She's such a good actress. Like She hardly talks at all during the film, but you're totally able to get inside of her brain about what emotion she's feeling. So Elminster, something about Finnish people, like from that era. So that film, I think it was done in the 80s. And back then, people were much more like that in the film. They genuinely were people of very few words. People just sort of like understood each other without very many words. So you might watch that film and you're like, what the heck? Nobody's saying anything. But that still holds true today to some extent, but it was even much more like that back in the day. Ah, Elminster, there's some songs that you don't play on stream because you might cry. Yeah, I'm a big crier as well. Like, you know, you were talking about your favorite Disney film. I forget what was it? What was you were mentioning your favorite Disney film. How come I'm thinking of like Aqua something. I forget what it was, but my favorite Disney film would be Bambi and Dumbo. Bambi and Dumbo, I will just cry rivers watching those films. Like in Dumbo, the moment where the mum is rocking, she's like all shackled up and she's rocking Dumbo on her trunk. And there's that beautiful like song. I'll just cry and I'll cry and I'll cry and I'll cry. And then, of course, the Bambi moment where Bambi's mum dies, that, of course, is very, very sad as well. And yeah, my throat is definitely, there's some squiggly stuff going on in my throat still. Even though I had my morning coffee, even though my voice is kind of like warmed up a little bit after talking. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Hopefully I don't have anything, though. And Tuxie, Dumbo was too sad for you. You couldn't handle that movie. I know. It's so sad. Oh, I gotcha, Elminster. That kind of dumb. Gotcha. Yeah. Serotonin, Elminster, I don't know why, but it seems funny seeing a metal guy like you crying. Oh, Elminster has tons and tons of depth, personality-wise. So I'm not surprised at all, actually. I'm not surprised one single bit. Atlantis, that's the thing. Yeah. I remember it was somehow like linked to water and the sea. So that's what it was, right? I don't know if I've seen Atlantis. I have to Google this now. Have I seen Atlantis from Disney? Let me just see. If I look at some screenshots. No, I have not seen this one. So this is a good Disney, is it? Let's see what year it was done. Oh, it's a pretty new one, actually. 2000, no. Yes, 2001. I was just looking at this one, that whether this is like a real life, like, you know, with the real characters, that, like, you know how they've been doing those movie remakes? At first I looked at this and thought that it looks like one of those, and then this would be the animated version. Maybe that is the case. No, that's just a fancier cover for the animated one. Gotcha. Yeah, I don't think I have not seen this one. I wonder if it's on Netflix. I might have to check that. I have to say, guys, I have to admit that I'm not really a fan of the like, I would say, like, all the Disney films that were done. Well, there's a few gems, I guess, in the mix, but I'm let's just say that I'm much more a fan of the old Disney films. The newer ones are a little bit too restless for me. Like, people are kind of all stretchy and like jumping all over the screen, and all of their expressions are like super duper what's the word? Not emphasized, but exaggerated. So that's the style of like the modern cartoons. Like, people are like stretching all over the screen, and they're like, their actions are like, their physical actions go super fast, and it feels so weird. Like, I understand that they want to make it feel like action-packed. They want to make it feel dynamic. But for me, it's just stressful to watch those like modern cartoons because they're like that. I'm from the era where cartoons were much more, and like animated films were much more calm. Like those old Disney movies, you won't see people like spazzing all over the screen, jumping from one edge of the screen to the other, and their faces like getting all distorted. You don't see that so much in the old stuff. You see it a lot in the modern ones, and I find it freaking annoying. I'm sorry, guys. I do. And this looks like a lovely spot, by the way. I wonder, let me just get my glasses on and see. Should we go in? I mean, we could go and visit and just go check this place out quickly. Because we're almost there, you see. We might as well do a little bit of exploring, right? It looks like a beautiful area. Now, this is what I'm talking about, guys. Even though the map of Independence looks like the actual map itself looks kind of weird, but then you look at this beautiful landscape and it's just gorgeous. Imagine living here with those big mountains. There's the Dragonfang Mountain there in the background, which is in the middle of the map. It's pretty gorgeous. I mean, you don't see mountains like this in the new servers so much. Yeah, this looks really nice, actually. Let's go and just check this place out quickly. Yeah, exaggerated. Yes, those motions, like the physical, the animations are just like too much for me. Too much. We're just gonna disembark. I'm not gonna even bother mooring this place. Actually, you know what? Let's see if the perimeter is here. So this is a place called Rivendell. Well, very fitting. Because I need to get my horse unloaded, actually. Let's just see if there's a spot here where I could, like the perimeter, and I could unload. Here we go. Okay, let's get the ship over there, and we're gonna unload our horsey over there. And then we can go on horseback. Let's do that. And Tuxie says, many modern movies are so overly busy, overwhelming. Nothing is subtle. Yeah. Yeah, and like honestly, guys, you know how like a lot of action films are like that as well? Like there's no breathing spots in between. It's just like action, 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 one thing after another. And of course, their goal has been for it to be action-packed, right? But I actually end up falling asleep because it's like an overload of the action. Like I literally, like I'm not kidding you guys, I actually like fall asleep during those like really action-packed films. There has to be a breathing space in between. Oh, and I just remembered, Elminster, I saw one of the films that was recommended, I think you recommended it, was the Nine, what was it called? Nine Psychopaths. I watched that one, by the way. I think the film was, the first half of it was excellent. And I think things kind of went limp a little bit after it had been revealed. Once it started to get to that point where it was revealed who the one guy was in the bigger picture. Thank you so much for the follow, Lacruva. Welcome to the stream. Lacruva, are you also a Worm player? So once it was revealed who the one guy was in the group of friends, and when he started to talk about his dreams and his ideas, and it sort of went downhill from there for me. But the first half was excellent. I think what they should have done with that film is that they should have had the big reveal and his like visions of how things should go down. I think that if that moment in the film would have come much later, it would have been better. But it was sort of like halfway, and then the rest, yeah, it was a bit weird for me. But I like the first half for sure. Load cargo. And now we gotta tame this horse so we can get the saddle and everything on, because we're on a different server now. So the branding of the horse is not going to have any effect on independence. And let me just eat up a little bit and drink up as well. And we've got to take my silver stuff, which I need to actually repair as well. Okay, while she eats, I'll just catch up with you guys as well. And hello, Perry Hellion, welcome to the stream. You loved Pete's Dragon as a kid. Pete's Dragon, I don't think I've seen that one. Serotonin, you like the more relaxed animation style. Each changed in a frame was very neat, meaningful, purposeful. It's the same in older animes. And Lacruva, yes, you are a Wurm player. Nice. Well, come on in, Lacruva. Are you new to Wurm, or have you been playing for a longer time? And what server do you play on? And yeah, let's take the staff off. The reason for that is because we don't want to go whacking. KatsPurr has subscribed for the 2nd month. Oh my gosh. I wonder who went to rename themselves like that. So, oh my gosh. Is that still existing, that name? So, you guys might be like, what the heck is KatsPurr? So, a few weeks ago, me and I was like a guest on Holly Dragon's stream, and we were trying to flirt with men in that stream. We were any men that we encountered, we went up to them and flirted, like did the flirt emote in the game. And if they didn't react to our flirting, we then did the fart emote on them. So a new word was invented, and I can't remember anymore who it was, but you know, the combination of farting and flirting, somebody said, well, that's clearly flirting. And then somebody renamed their Twitch name to KatsPurr after that whole joke. And I can't believe, I think there's like a delay how often you can change the name. Like I think you can change it once, and then after that, if you want to rechange your name in Twitch, I believe you have to wait a few months or something like that. Yeah, it's crazy. And I have to believe somebody actually renamed their normal Twitch name, because otherwise, if it would have just been a temporary joke, they probably would have never relogged back on with the same account, I would imagine. Dill raised. You thought I did this in real life, bars? No. Not yet, at least. I haven't experimented with it in real life, no. I don't know how that would go down. I have a sneaking suspicion that it wouldn't be very effective unless you could, you know, maybe it would make somebody pass out and then you could, I don't know. Okay, so we have to tame this horsey to get the saddle on. Oh, what are you doing, cats? Don't do that. So if you're new to Wurm, just something to understand is that these ebony black horses actually have a hidden speed trait to them. An extra speed trait. Oh, that's what's going on. I forgot to double click the grass. There we go. Let's see. And then, so you actually made like a whole new Twitch account for that. Whoever that is, oh my gosh. I don't even know who is behind the KatsPurr Twitch account. That's why you resubbed, too lazy to log into the other account. So who is that actually? Enjoy the sub. Thank you very much, KatsPurr. Okay, we got it we got it tamed already. So now let's just put this stuff back. Oh, by the way, guys, by the way, I'm so excited to share something with you guys. So, so those of you who've been to my stream more, a little bit like, who have been regularly to my streams, you've probably heard me talk about like my two sons who are both like musicians, right? So I've never, like, I'm musical in the sense that I don't actually, hold on, I'm losing my train of thought here. Okay, so now we need to quickly do this. Let's just untame it. Untame, so that the monsters don't attack it. Good, let's get our staff equipped again, and now let's go adventuring a little bit. So yeah, I've talked about how my two sons are both musicians. So my older son, he actually did a lot of, he was involved in a lot of different black metal bands, and he's been in lots and lots of different projects. He's been doing music for a long time. My younger one, he does cinematic music, and he's the one who did the soundtrack, or like the song for the trailer, the Wurm trailer. And myself, I've never been able to compose music myself. I'm just very passionate as a music listener. So I'm passionate about music in the regard that, like, I couldn't live without music. You know, the music I listen to, I feel very passionately about. I go to concerts, and, you know, I buy the albums, and music like really moves me, because I noticed that not everyone is like super passionate about music. Let's just see what this is called. This is called, oh yes, Rivendell, that's right. So Rivendell, that's this, isn't that from Lord of the Rings? Let me just see. That's that really super cool, like, Lord of the Rings, right? That's the super cool, like, this one, yeah. That beautiful city at the base of the mountain, that's right. Isn't it in the movie as well? I'm just wondering why we're just getting, like, paintings only. Surely it's in the movie also. Well, anyhow, keeping that in mind, if this is called Rivendell, let's just compare a little bit and just see these images. Are there seriously not, like, let's just get larger images here, because those are tiny, teeny, weeny little. Okay, this one. Here we go. There, that's better. Well, even that one's kind of blurry. But you basically see, like, waterfalls, the mountains, this beautiful city here, which looks like it's made, everything's white, but they haven't used, like, marble here. They've just used wooden, like, materials. I'm not sure if they're trying to actually remake Rivendell here or just inspired by it, but so anyhow, getting back to the music thing. So I have not composed music myself, but this playlist that we listen to every single time I have a stream, it's kind of problematic. First thing is that the playlist, so it is made up of game soundtracks from various MMOs, other games that sort of match a kind of exploration theme. And that's fine and dandy. The only problem is that I play this one and same playlist every single time, and it can get a bit boring. And so I've been looking into these music the second problem is the monetization thing. So I export these, well, first of all, whether the music, like if you have a VOD on Twitch, Twitch will block out the audio from copyrighted music. And so for the most part, this playlist seems to work pretty well. However, and also on YouTube, same thing is because they're game soundtracks, so they don't want to, when they are making a soundtrack for a game, they don't want to make it copyrighted because then people wouldn't be able to stream or make like video content of their game, and it's good advertisement, right? So, so for the most part, this playlist has been okay, but once in a while, like a song will pop up that causes the copyright issue. And so I've been trying to look into the different music services. Of course, you've got like Pretzel, you've got a whole bunch of different services. I've been comparing them recently. And I know most streamers seem to use Pretzel for their music. Then, of course, there is the sort of like royalty free music you can find on YouTube. But then, of course, the volume levels might be kind of off and uneven there as well. There's a lot of options. There's, of course, YouTube audio library where you can get songs. And I've used those songs on my videos quite a bit. But I thought to myself, I wonder if I should try to compose my own songs that I could use on the stream. And so like I was saying, I've always been very, very passionate about music as a listener, but I haven't composed my own music at all. It's something I always wanted to try. And so that even though both of my sons create their own original music, I haven't had that kind of personality to do that, but I thought maybe I could try to make some medieval music. So I tried this last night for the first time at just using Cakewalk. I can just play it very quickly. So I just did this, like, let me just get this started up here. And let's just pause this for a moment. So it hasn't been like evened out yet. It's just like, this is just from like experimenting for an hour, and I hardly know even how to use this software, to be honest. I'm definitely gonna have to look through some like tutorials and stuff, but I can just play it for you guys very quickly what I was able to get done yesterday. So this is just the beginnings. It would just be like a beginning part of like a medieval song, and all the like the timing is completely off, so I was just playing, you know, you have to get all the timings with the timings like evened out, but this is what I got so far. We've got like I've got three instruments here. We've got the harp, we've got sort of like a tambourine, and then we've got, what was the third one I put? A flute, yes, a piccolo flute. Okay, so let me just play this for you guys. You can see the timing is off. Yeah, like you can tell like all the timing stuff needs to be like fixed up. Like some of them were, that was just me playing with this with these, you know, just timing it by finger, but it all has to be evened out. I'm gonna have to get my sons to help me out, like, so I learn how to do that. There's the whatchameter thingy, you know, to get the tick, 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 tick. I forget the name of it. You guys know what I'm talking about, though. You can turn that on, and I need to get it all like evened out. But that's from about an hour of playing around with this software last night. And I need to work on that more. And maybe I could make like, wouldn't that be cool if I could make like a whole list of different like medieval songs that I could play on the stream, and then there would be like no copyright issues at all because it would be all cats music. But I would have like, because for instance, this playlist that I listen to on all my streams, it has 231 songs, guys. So, you know, that's a lot, so that it wouldn't get monotonous. Then again, I want to keep the music pretty simple so that it actually doesn't start to feel like boring, you know? That was Cakewalk Cold Water. It is a free like audio, it's a free software for making your own music. Let me just get the link for you here. Cakewalk. go. So yeah, that's what I was playing around with last night. And hello there, Dark Creon. Welcome to the stream. Let me just see what you guys are saying here. And so Lakruva, coming back to you. So you're a Wurm player, you're in Harmony at the moment, and you started 2 weeks after Steam launch. Well, welcome to Wurm Online, Lakruva. Welcome to this wonderful world and this wonderful game. I hope you're enjoying yourself so far. So Lakruva, I'd love to hear, I always like to ask like new players, I like to ask them like what's their favorite thing and their least favorite thing about Wurm on their first, weeks, their first impressions of the game. And Cleave It, you love metal, you love Amorphis from Finland. Yeah, I guess Finland has quite a few metal bands, that's for sure. And Napsor, you guys were confirming that Rivendell is from Lord of the Rings. Yeah, I thought so, yeah. And metronome, that's the word I was looking for. Yes, guys. So, of course, the metronome was playing as I was recording, but still, it needs to be evened out so it's all like nice and like in order. You're gonna play with that tonight, Coldwater? Yeah, yeah. It's a pretty. I mean, it's a professional software, so it's very very complex. But you can find, since it has its free side as well. That means that a lot of people have then also made tutorials about it. So you're probably likely to find as many tutorials as you need. Yeah. And Drogo says you almost also might want to look into LMMS, another nice free music sound effects maker program. Okay, that sounds familiar actually, Drogos. I don't think I've ever tried it though. So Lakruva, the best in Wurm so far is the settlement building, skill specializing, and PvP kingdom conquering. Future plans for the settlement you're in. Nice. So you're going to go over to the PvP side eventually, are you? So let's see now. Let's look at the map. We are... So this is like a sandy area at the base of... I'm assuming we must be... That's probably Rivendell right there. And we're coming through this valley, I think. And interesting how that scorpion just basically just like ignored me completely there. And let's just go through here. Just admire the view. Turn off the UI. So your least favorite thing, Lakruva, is such a small community. So each member is so valuable, and you wish there was a bigger player pool and the limited use of specific skills. Zek mentioned it last night. Yeah, that's true. Although I have to say, Lakruva, that the player base was much smaller before the Steam launch. And now we're actually starting to see quite a few people in Wurm compared to how it was before. So I have very high hopes and positive hopes that Wurm is, it's going to have a steady influx of players. Of course, there was the Steam launch thing that, a whole bunch of people tried the game. Wurm is definitely not for everyone. And so, of course, a large majority of people who probably tried it probably also tried it and then just left, which is, to be expected. But I'm hoping that I've seen so many new players who are just like so passionate and just completely fell in love with Wurm that I think we have a large enough amount of players now to spread the word. And even though we lost that big chunk of players who just tried it and then left, I think we also have so many players who are going to be able to spread the word and have it grow like in a more natural way from now on as well. I wonder if this tunnel goes through the mountain to the other side, or is this, no, it's just a dead end. I wonder if it used to though. Oh, hold on. This is, the walls have been interesting, by the way. Like, what the heck is up with this, by the way? Is that, oh, that is, yeah, it has gone. So this one doesn't have a reinforcement, so it has actually tunneled in. I'm just wondering if this would go through the mountain. I wonder if I should check the... Do I have my pickaxe with me? Just get rid of these guys. Do I have my pickaxe with me? I think I should. I do. And we don't have any game sounds, by the way. What the heck is up with that? There we go. That's a bit better. That's more like it. I completely forgot to put the game sounds on. So, since... let's get rid of this guy as well. So since these ones have... Oh, there's another one that has tunneled in, or like caved in. Since there's a reinforced cave wall, we don't see the bumpy cave walls here because they're sort of like evening it out because that's also reinforced. So I can't do a sneaky peek through the cave wall per se, unless... I wonder if I can like make use of like this, you know? Using the third person view, maybe we could just see here. Just to see whether where the tunnel is going, you know? Hold on. Just to look through the geometry there. No, I can't. I can't do any trickery here. You can see how the top, that's what you see the top there? This is what I'm trying to do, is trying to see if the tunnel goes through. It's funny because I'm actually like leaning in real life as if that would help any. I'm actually leaning, trying to lean to the right here in real life. Dumbass cats. Because if it would be worth my while tunneling through, but maybe we won't take the risk. I guess I could check the community map, I guess. But that's just the map dump. No. Okay, let's go over here. Wurmpedia. Maps. And Independence. Community map. Okay, let's see. Do we see a tunnel through this thing? I'm not seeing one, no. I'm not seeing a tunnel through. There's one over here. But that's not where we are yet. So you know what? We're not gonna even bother. We'll just walk around. And Sina, when you wish that scorpions would ignore you like that as well. Yeah, I think it was just I just wasn't in its like view, you know. I was just on the side enough for it not to notice me. But usually from that angle they should notice you, but I'm not sure what was going on there. Hello, Donut Kebab. Welcome to the stream. Good to see you back. How are you doing tonight? Sina Manjure, and you came back after a long time of not playing, and now your settlement has 5 other players who had never played it before, but they're now playing pretty regularly. Nice, nice. Yeah, I mean, anyone who's played Wurm for a longer time and has tried to get friends into Wurm, I think we can all relate with this problem of not being able to convince our friends to stay for a very long time. I think we all have friends who've given it a try, maybe played a few months, but then gone off. But now, with the Steam launch, with the new volumetric lighting, the way that it has changed just how pretty the game is, I think we've now turned a new page. Turned a new leaf? No, what was the saying that I'm looking for? Turned a new page? I'm not quite sure. I think we have entered a new era in Wurm and its success. I really do. I strongly believe that Wurm is going to only get better and bigger from here on. Yeah, I know, right? They don't see the light. Now, I understand, though. I do understand. You know, you go to any other MMO, and immediately you get this. You get these experiences of gratification, because you're able to do these super easy little quests, and you get all the nice little sound effects and all the particle effects and bring, 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 all these nice little things that have a little trigger in your brain that you succeeded in something, and Wurm has nothing like that. So, you know, you go to any other game and that's what you're experiencing the very first, you know, minutes. And of course, in Wurm, it is a long haul. You have to invent your own goals, your own things that are going to give you that satisfaction. Like, I know several players right now who, you know, they did fall in love with the game. They made themselves their own deed. They built their houses. They built, you know, a mine. They built a cart. But now they're kind of at that sort of phase where they're like, okay, so what do I do now? And you definitely need to formulate some kind of bigger, like, goal in mind. It's not enough, because after you have built all that stuff, you have to have a bigger vision of what you want to accomplish in the game. Otherwise, it can get very, very boring very, very quickly. So for instance, here on the old servers, my bigger vision for this character is she wants to turn her entire island into an actual, like, medieval kingdom with, you know, the towns and everything possible that an actual kingdom would have. And of course, there's nothing special about that goal at all. That's like just standard stuff that most people want to do, but it's something I still haven't completed. She's been working at that for years now, and she still hasn't completed her goal, because the island is quite large. And of course, now with the new character on the new servers, her goal is to make the Sandstone Kingdom there. So another kingdom, the one that you can see in the trailer. So, you know, everything that I do in the game, every little sub thing that I'm doing is all working towards this one end goal, right? So it makes all of those actions feel worth it. Now, if I didn't have like a larger goal in mind, I think I would be left kind of feeling hollow and empty after a while. So definitely you have to think about something that you want to do in the bigger picture of things. And what is this place called? This looks really lovely. This is called Mountain Hollow Station, and just, I mean, did you guys notice just what a beautiful view we have here? Let's just have a look at this place here. They got a troll problem, it seems. Let's just take care of this troll for them. Get the troll out of the way. And just as a example, think about, for instance, the factional Fight Brothers. They worked on the puzzle labyrinth for 3 years. Think about Elminster's village. They have this whole cultist-like goal that they want to do. You have to have a bigger vision in mind of what you want to accomplish in Wurm. It's not enough to just like make your little village or your little house or whatever, because then you're going to be left with like not knowing what to do after that. How are we doing here? We're doing just fine. And Zalo, you started a new chapter in Wurm. Hello, Tech PK. Welcome to the stream. Good to see you back. So, Zalo, what is your new chapter? Let's just have a little look around. So, this is where they do their tailoring stuff, and they have a beautiful view of the lake there as they're spinning yarn on their spinning wheel. Here's the smithing area. Ah, yes, that's right, Zalo. Thank you. Yes, the phrase that I was looking for. Right. Start a new chapter. Yes, that describes perfectly. Thank you. Yeah, I didn't connect immediately like what you meant there, but you were just helping me out. Okay, so there is. Oh, trolls. Hello there, Shiana, and welcome to the stream. Are you a Wurm player as well? Welcome on in. And for those of you who have joined the stream in the past hour or so, and if you're wondering like what we're up to today in Wurm Online, we are doing our weekly Wurm Roulette stream where we choose a random location. As you can see here, we choose a random location to go and visit, and today the marker landed on Independence, and we have sailed down from Xanadu all the way down the coast here to, of course the map there is in the way. Let me just hide that for a moment. We sailed, here's the marker down here, and it landed on Independence. Looks like that was actually covered before, and I didn't realize. So yeah, we're visiting Independence today. And Limewood Gaming, one of your goals is to have a part-time restaurant somewhere maybe in the Sandstone City, if there will be a place for that. That kind of thing. Yes, absolutely, Limewood. We are going to have several locations for restaurants and bars and taverns. We're going to have to still figure out like how we allocate those to people who want to come and live there. So we're going to have to still figure that out. Dang, Snoopy Cat, so buff. And Mr. Laggy, welcome to the stream. So Mr. Laggy, did you watch any of those videos last night? Let me just link this to you guys as well, by the way. Let me just see. I'm gonna have to open another browser tab, and we're just gonna grab that over here to my other monitor so you guys don't see any sneaky stuff. So, hold on. What's going on here? Playlists. Here. Good. So, let me just turn off the music there for a moment. So I think most of us have seen these guys' videos. Basically what they do is they do like they sort of film RPG moments like from Skyrim and World of Warcraft, and they do them sort of in real life. I can just show this one, for instance.
Hello, adventurer. Welcome to the town of Honeywood. Welcome to Honeywood. Hello, adventurer, and welcome to the town of Honeywood. We Hello, Skip. There's a drag. Skip. The castle. Skip. Monster. Skip. The sword of Skip. Here's the sword of Skip. Thank you, hero. We truly believe that with
So these videos, I think most of us have probably seen them like linked in Facebook or whatever, or maybe you've like stumbled across them in YouTube before. You've probably seen them being linked in like RPG, like any game forums. People like to link these, but I was never aware actually that there was like 150 videos from this series, and I recently found the series, and last night I finished watching all 150 of these, and they are so good. That was like episode 1. So let me just link this to you guys. If you guys haven't looked through these, there are some really, really funny ones. So basically, it's all about this the life from the perspective of the NPCs living in these games and what they have to deal with. And there's different figures, and also you do see like the player characters as well. And I really, really recommend that series. So that's what I was asking Mr. Laggy about, whether he had started watching those. Really, really well done, really hilarious. And I recommend watching it in order, because as you start going through those videos, the later jokes make plays on the earlier jokes, so you need to watch them in the right order. And so that's what I was asking Mr. Laggy about. And you had to force yourself not to, Mr. Laggy. Just looking at the titles, you knew you were going to get lost into it for a while. Yeah, Sneaky Cat, says Zed Cobra. They're so funny, Cleavet, they are. Yeah, and Rix, if you love those as well. And you've never seen those before, Tuxie. Oh, you're in for a treat. So each video just lasts like a few minutes. And what I recommend doing, there's like I recommend doing it so that you don't break your immersion. I recommend so that as soon as the sort of ending like stuff, a lot of times they'll have like some ending words. Just fast forward. Like if you look at
Hello.
So I would just recommend fast forwarding through the from here. As soon as the ending like titles and the ending words start to happen there, because if you do that and if you just fast forward through those once the actual like clip has ended, you'll stay immersed. I found that there was like some videos in there where there's like making of versions of the videos, and it just completely like ruined the immersion, like the vibe that I was in. So that's how I would recommend watching those, and watch all the like making of stuff like later on. But yeah, I really enjoyed those. I never realized there were so many of them. Really great actors as well. Let me just see what else we have here. Yes, Epic NPC man. Yeah, Boom Shackle. I noticed that there was like the seasons all merged together, but it felt like they hadn't done that for all of them though. Okay, this seems like some kind of canal. Of course, we can't get through there. But maybe this canal is the one that we saw on the map, actually, the Independence map. So there's this mountain. Oh my gosh. Has somebody tried to make like a... Have they tried to make like a ladder to the very top? Now I almost feel like going up this, guys. I always love me a good like mountain climb. Should we climb up this baby? Since we're here. I just noticed that there's like these little resting spots that have been terraformed all the way up. It feels like if somebody has gone to all that trouble, we might as well climb up. I do have booze with me. I'm pretty sure that the view from up there would be quite spectacular. How much booze do I have? So booze will help you get your stamina back. We have 4.69 kilograms of gin, so we could do this. Should we do this, guys? I think we shall. I should probably get myself healed first, just so we have full stamina. So let's just heal up first. Yeah, seasons, that's right. Yeah. Yeah, it felt like that they hadn't done a combined season version of all of them. Like the ultimate dream would be for all of the clips to be all like one long thing, with only the epic NPC like thing at the very end to just symbolize that this is where it ended, but not have any of the last like parting words that they often have when they're talking about the stuff that they're working on. It just breaks the immersion somehow. Okay, so, yeah, I think we're gonna climb up this thing, guys. Crazy Cats. And her climbing escapades. And Horsey, are you coming with me? You better come with me. Yeah, it's coming with me. Okay, up we go. And, so we not need to get this booze situation, underway. Oh, really? I am not. What the heck? So there's these new permissions, guys, about drinking on somebody else's deed. I cannot drink from my own inventory? That doesn't seem correct. Okay, I'm gonna have to make a picture of this, a screenshot. I can understand that I cannot drink from other people's containers. So they recently made this patch, guys, where you cannot... So permissions are set for containers that have liquids in them on somebody's deed, but that does not seem correct. That you can't like drink from your own inventory. What the actual heck, guys? That does not seem intended. So there's not going to be any climbing then, because I cannot climb up that if I can't drink my booze. Yeah, I'll have to let them know. Yeah, you can drink water, so if there's like a fountain or a well, you can drink from that. So this fountain over here, I'm pretty sure I can just go over to it and drink it, but surely I should be able to drink from my own like jars, right? Yeah, I need the booze to survive to be able to climb up that thing. So I can drink from here. No, I cannot drink from the outside. Somebody was mentioning this actually, but I can drink from here, right? Yeah, no. Oh, I'm just so bloated. Okay, so right-clicking the object from outside, cannot drink from here, but you can if you open it up and then you access the water from there. Yeah, seems like they have some fine-tuning to do there. Tech PK, new deed permissions to make alcohol-free zones. Some of us don't want you drunkards around. Yeah, that would have been kind of cool to go up those steps like that. To see what's at the top, right? Yeah, I'll definitely let the team know about that, because that does not seem intended. I'll make a bug report. Very strange. Hello, Desk Chat. Welcome to the stream. How are you doing tonight? Maybe they have a wall they don't want spoiled. Oh, like if Cats falls to her death and splats blood all over the place? Yeah, maybe. I wonder if this little pond here, it almost feels like it's like a man-made one. So if you're new to Wurm, just so you know, if you want to make your own pond or your own lake or your river, you can just dig down right into the surface of the ground and until it reaches the sea level. Now, of course, if you're up high on top of a mountain, it would take quite a while before you dug yourself all the way down to the sea level. So realize that you have to be close to the sea level to be able to do this. I mean, you could technically, if you wanted to, surface mine the entire mountain down, but that would take years with thousands of players to get down all the way. It's technically possible, though. And puking in their water supply, Mr. Laggy, yeah. Tech PK, close to you of today's adventure. Hopefully, by the time the marker comes here, eventually you have things built. So whereabouts do you live, Tech PK? Let's go check what this place is. So what is this called? This is called Village of Oakvale. Okay, let's have a look here. You don't often see the lawn tiles used, by the way. So you can make a lawn tile from the grass tiles by using scissors on them. But yeah, beautiful view. I mean, it's very scenic, this area, isn't it? Very, very scenic. It is a very lovely little town here, for sure. And it does seem to be an active player because they've got their crops. Some of their crops need a little bit of tending to, but they are active crops. So it is an active player. They got the horse stables over here, all kinds of different colors. I wonder if I should just put a little bit of smoothing on my camera there, because I feel like I'm swiveling around the view maybe just a little bit too fast. And maybe then the, you know how in a stream how when the camera like goes too quickly, then it gets all mushy in the bit if you have like a low bit rate. But if it has time to catch up, it'll stay sharper for you guys. So I put a little bit of smoothing on the camera there, just so it doesn't swivel around so quickly. Look at this, guys. You got what is this? Hermitage. They've got a couple of roses on the ground here. It's very random. The doors are locked, though. Interesting. Yeah, the bitrate gets crushed. That's right, Cinnamon. Mr. Lackey, did I tell you ever the story about my PK experiences from Ultima Online? Did I ever tell you about the PK who would leave one single red rose in the body of their victim? So in Ultima Online, which is very similar to Wurm Online, but it's like an isometric view, and of course Ultima Online is the true grandfather of all MMOs. So they're back in the old days in Ultima Online, before they split it between Trammel and Felucca, everything was like PvP except for the towns, like it is now in Legends of Aria, and so you would have the PKs who would murder the players, and most of the time PKs were kind of assholey kind of people, just wanting to ruin your day. But once in a while you had PKs, in other words murderers, who would do things with style. And there was this one guy who would go around placing a single red rose in the corpse of the person that they had murdered. And I was the victim of this guy one time, and he left a single red rose in my body. So when I came back to my corpse to see if any of my stuff was still there, there was nothing. He had looted me dry, but he had left one rose. And here's the cool thing about the rose, by the way. those red roses in Ultima Online are actually kind of rare items. They have some value as well, so it's not just like some, like that red rose that we saw has just been like cut from one of these rose bushes here. So it doesn't have any value. It's just anyone can cut roses here in Wurm. But in Ultima Online, they're actually like rare items that you got as gifts. I forget for what. You got them on Valentine's Day, I think, in Ultima Online, something like that. And so for him to leave those in people's bodies was pretty amazing, to be quite honest. He couldn't have done it too often though, because that would get pretty expensive, wouldn't it? So Tech PK, you're down in Kinos Bay, and that huge mountain south of me just moved here recently, though. Kinos Bay. So let's just see here. Kinos Bay. So is this Kinos Bay here? So Tech PK, do you live in this area over here? And of course this lake here is where we are right now. We're just trying to, let me just make sure I'm actually facing south, yes. And we're trying to, we've just come along this area, I think. And we're probably going down here. There's probably one of the little lakes. This one is probably one of these two. And Serotonin says, that's pretty neat, the PK story. You think he just liked me? Yeah, I don't think he, I mean, back then, I hadn't done anything special in Ultima Online. I don't think anyone knew me, or I didn't have any kind of reputation. I was just like a random player to him, I think. But yeah, it was a nice guy or gal, Donut Kebab, for sure. And Mr. Laggy, you don't even remember seeing roses. Yeah, I think they were probably relatively new still at that time. Maybe they had just started doing that for Valentine's Day at the time. So Kinos Bay is in the southwest part of Indy. Aha. Kinos Bay. Oh, it's way down here, right? Yeah. We're not, we're gonna be up here today, so we're not gonna even be going anywhere close. Hello, Oblivion Reaver. Welcome to the stream. I wonder, choices. Do we go up this? I kind of want to keep the mountain in my sights. Let's go see what's up here. Oh, it's like a dead end. I should have known. Oh, trolley boy. Well, we're just gonna leave him behind. Oh, right, for when the marker ends up in that area. Okay, Tech PK. Yeah, sorry, I probably didn't read the whole thing, what you were saying. And you hope you have something nice to build by then. Yes. So here's a sandy area and another lake. Oh yes, Guard, the classic Wurm map making right there. You mean the community map? Yeah. Yep, that's probably a pretty old map by now. I gotta say, kudos to the people who actually update those. I know Dude Jensen helps with some of those maps, and I think they probably, each of the maps have different people responsible for updating them, but a lot of thanks goes to those people for going to the trouble of actually updating new towns to them and removing the old ones. And look at this big sandy spike. I wonder what that's all about. Let's go see. What is this place here? And I think... Did we now reach the other side of the mountain? I think we did. And why is she going so slowly? Oh, she doesn't have any stamina, no wonder. Well, that shouldn't affect the horse though, should it? And also my weight shouldn't affect the horse. Maybe the horse just hasn't eaten for a while. That could be the case. Let's just put the horse on the grass there for a moment. And let's just gather our... get our... What's the phrase when you're trying to figure out where you are? And look at that big pit. Interesting. So... let's see. Yes, the bearings. That's right. That's the word I was looking for. So, I'm assuming, guys, that... I'm not going to look at the community back because I don't really want to look at it because it's kind of like cheating for me. But I'm assuming now that this mountain here is this one. I'm assuming that this sandy area is this one down here. So we have reached our goal, kind of. And then this mountain range is all of these little mountains over here. So I think we should go down there, plant the sign, and then we're free to just like explore anything after that. But let's go check out this this weird spike thing first and just see what that's all about. I think my horse got a little bit of a nibble from that grass and is going a bit faster now because of that. So they've just wanted to make like a spike from the sand. Just as a kind of decorational thing, I guess. Okay. So let's head down and see if we can find a spot to place the sign saying that KatsPurr was here. Yeah, somebody just built it just because he can. That's right. Yeah, and that's cool. That's cool that we can do pretty much anything. Yeah, I have to say that the magic of Independence's landscapes I still find it beautiful here. Even though those mountains are these big balls, these big even balls, I still like them. So, if we look at the map, let's see now. If we look at the exact spot, so it would be just at the very root of this mountain here. So we need to go somewhere over here to place that sign. Oh, the dirt, the ships placed on top of the spikes, yeah. I'm sure many new players have been like, what the hell is that? How did they get that there? Looks like there's a deed up there as well. You can see from the square shape, somebody has a deed up there. Now, what we could do, of course, since I feel like I was kind of cheated out of my mountain climbing experience, is we could try and climb up from this side that is undeeded, but there's always the risk that what if we run into a deeded area and then I can't drink my alcohol? That would be problematic. So we need to find a spot where to place the sign that's not going to be too like annoying or obnoxious. Let's go and have a look at what this mine entrance is over here. Oh, we're gonna have to go from here. No, it's so high. Okay, I'm not gonna bother getting off my horse. You know, it'd be kind of cool, by the way, guys. It'd be kind of cool, like if the spot would have ended up inside the mountain. Imagine planting the sign in an old abandoned mountain, and then all of the walls would, if all of the mine like tiles would collapse except the one with the sign, and imagine excavating that tunnel at some point and finding a sign there. KatsPurr was here. That'd be kind of cool. Let's get rid of these bad guys here. Everyone wants to kill cats. Anaconda, bear. I'm sure that crocodile is going to notice me in a moment. And Oblivion Reaver says, old disbanded deed. That whole mountain is covered in those thorn bushes because of the damn deed. Oh. So you're talking about this one up here, I guess. Yeah, so Oblivion Reaver, before you arrived, actually, we noticed something. You know how they did the update for being, like, the permissions for drinking? So usually when I go mountain climbing, well, always when I go mountain climb, I have to, of course, drink the alcohol to keep the stamina up, right? But we noticed that there's a glitch in the new permission system, which is that I couldn't drink from my own inventory. How crazy is that? Gonna have to let them know about that. So that's the only thing that I'm worried about. If I try climbing this thing, that are we going to bump into somebody's deed and then I won't be able to drink the alcohol to get my stamina up? It's a bit of a risk now. I'm not sure if I really want to take that risk, but this doesn't really look like there would be deeds unless they're like somebody has one due to a mine below. But it kind of looks like it'd be safe to go up this. I'm still kind of wanting to see what the view is up from up there. Oh, the sign. We need to plant the bloody sign. I almost forgot. So let's see, what's the perfect spot? Maybe we'll just plant it here on the side of the mountain, so it's not smack dab in the middle of the sand. And you died to something similar once, says Oblivion Reaver. You were a priest climbing mountains using refresh and you ran into a deed and permissions blocked refreshing yourself. Really? So was this like something that happened now after the update, or was this like a bug that happened like, you know, years ago? And I guess refreshing, well, of course, refreshing is a different thing from drinking. So yeah, it must be a completely unrelated thing, but it was like a similar experience that you had one time. That sounds super annoying, yeah, for sure. Zalo says, it was years ago, I see. Zalo says, down on the coastline there is a mouse hole memorial. You doubt it still exists, though. There was an old memorial to a player, Mouse, who passed early 2011, which tells you how old Independence is. Oh, really? So, Zalo, down on the coastline. So, would it be somewhere here? What would be the coordinates for that, Zalo? We could go see if it's still there. Just west of me, not far. Okay, let's go have a look before we start climbing. Oh, let's plant the sign first. One thing, let's plant it right here, actually. And we need to rename it as well. So, KatsPurr / Milena was here. And today is 15th of September. There we go. And Oblivion Reaver says, Mouse Hole is the canal to the west of me. Aha. Okay, we'll have a look. Did I rotate it the wrong way? Nope, that's the right way. But I think, hold on. Let's just rotate it a couple times more. And the reason I'm rotating the camera is because actually the location is how you have your camera. And I just want to go right onto that spot right there, onto the corner. So we'll go a little bit more this way. Just do a couple of small nudges still. There we go. KatsPurr, Milena was here. September 15th, 2020. Good. Mission accomplished. And now we can actually turn off that map as well. So that's not in the way. And we'll go and see if we can find this canal then. So, a canal. Let's just see if it's mentioned here on the map at all. So, is it this canal here? No, intracoastal waterway. That's not it. Is it this thing here? Not seeing any mention of this mouse thing though. Mouse Hole Memorial, there it is. Cats, are you blind? Are you blind? So we're here. So we'll just go down. Right there. Let's go see if it's still there. Oh, Zalo. So pulling goes to your character. Pushing goes towards your camera direction. Really? Ah, I thought it was like both of them were according to the camera direction. Right. Because I use that to my advantage sometimes when I want to just to, fine tune like the direction that I'm pushing or pulling something in. And I didn't realize that it is actually different on the two. And actually, I shouldn't be looking at that. I should be looking at this. Okay, so we need to get to the water. And then it should be somewhere here to the left. Yeah, memorials are a super cool thing to come across in Wurm, of course. We saw Titch's memorial that one time in one of the streams. And I'll never forget it. It was definitely one of the most memorable experiences I've had in this game. Let's go see what this is all about, though. Safety pen if some animal attacks because my guard won't help. Aw, how cute is that? That somebody set that up. Now let me just see what this place is called. This is Mouse Hole Memorial. We're here, guys. So, does anyone have any stories about this player called Mouse that they want to share? Because this is the first time I've ever heard about this player. I would love to hear some stories if there's some old timers here who knew this person, have any stories about Mouse. I wonder if there's something in the Wurmpedia. Let me just check. Wurmpedia. And mouse. Mouse hole. Here we go. What does it say here? Mouse hole is a dwelling located at the bottom of the bay in the middle of the west coast of Freedom Isles, Independence. There is a mailbox, trader, and merchant available. It was founded on the first day of freedom, June 17th, 2009. It was inhabited by Mouse and her alter ego Mouse until she passed away in March 2011. And it looks like the images have become outdated. So let me just see if we can see this in Wayback Machine. Just give it a try. You can always worth trying and seeing if this works. Okay, that one didn't work. Let me just try the actual page itself. Do some, okay, that one definitely didn't work. Let's go back to this one. So there's a couple of spots here where it could be. Okay, that did not work, no. Oh, what a shame. So we don't know what those images look like. But now, you know what, guys, I actually made an account for Wurmpedia. I made my first edit as well to Wurmpedia the other day, inspired by what the Factional Fights brothers were doing on Sunday. I decided to finally make myself a Wurmpedia account, and I did my first edit, but I'm just thinking to myself whether we should take a couple of screenshots, and in the very least what I could do is take a couple of screenshots and just add them to this page, right? I could do that. Now, especially since it's daytime, let me just go get a little bit farther, a little bit of a farther view here of the place. Maybe get a nice shot like this, for instance. Let's get the horsey ears out of the way. We'll just take a screenshot like that, and I haven't added an image in Wurmpedia yet, so I'm not going to do that now, but I'll check that later and see. Oh, hold on, what's this? We could take a screenshot of this as well. What does it say here? Statue of a girl. And I guess that is representing Mouse, I guess. It hasn't been renamed though, so I won't take a screenshot of it. If it actually had like a mouse over saying something about Mouse there, then I would have had a look. The door is locked. But it's really cool that players have kept this place going all these years. And here's some of those archaeology no, are they the... No, these are the statuettes. That's right. For the priests. Are any of these doors open? No, they're all locked. And maybe what I could do is just put the horse here for a moment. We could get a nice screenshot of Malena sitting on the bench there. Let's take her helm off though. Like so. Maybe take the staff off as well. Turn off the UI. And have her just look out to the beautiful scenery. Actually, sitting on the bench that way kind of looks dumb. Let's do this one instead. There's a couple of chairs over here. Let's sit on this one. Thank you so much for the follow. Solipsistic Lemur. Welcome to the stream. So I'm just going to call you Soli if that's okay. So are you a Wurm player as well? And thank you so much for the follow, Dragon Cat. Welcome to the stream. What lands are these? Asks Dragon. This is the server of Independence. You just started a week ago, Solly. Oh, welcome to Wurm Online, Solly. How are you enjoying the game so far? So Zalo, you didn't really know her, but here's a thread about it. Let's have a look here. So guys, what's going on right now is we're visiting a memorial of a player who died in 2011 called Mouse. And I'm just taking some screenshots here that we can add to the Wurmpedia page. Let's take a nice screenshot like this of Milena looking out at the view here. Like so. And let's just check this thread on Mouse's passing. So it says here, Eep says, just wanted to let everyone here know that Mouse of Mousehole has passed away. I still don't know all the details, but someone from Active Worlds emailed me about it earlier, an AW forum thread about it, and blogged about her passing in case you want more history about her. Let's just check if this is still working or not. Let's just see, is there a search here? Was it Mouse, I think? Yes, let's see. No results. That would have been, there's archives though. 2011 May. Archives. 2011 May, here we go. So let's just read this out loud. So again, guys, Mouse's old place. This is the first time ever hearing about this player, but let's see what this person said about Mouse. Today I learned that Mouse from Active Worlds and Wurm fame has died. I knew Mau's real name, Marita, since 1997 when she entered the Active Worlds World Saxon for the first time. I played with Active Worlds back in the mid-90s as well, by the way, guys. It was sort of like the precursor to something like Second Life. We formed a friendship and had fun building up Saxon, which was transferred to Whole after she bought a world. Then Whole and cubed for some virtual education. Let's actually, as I read this, I'm just gonna put the view of Milena just since that's more accurate, or like more fitting. We formed a friendship and had fun building up Saxon, which was transferred to Whole after she bought a world. Then Whole and cubed for some virtual education institute competition with Lara Cat. Around 2003, I moved on to Second Life and tried to get her to like it as much or more than Active Worlds, but she never really got into it aside from hanging out in the welcome areas and chatting. Later I found Wurm and she really liked it and was there up until her passing. I recently came back to Wurm around Halloween 2010. Again, guys, this has been written 2011, okay? And soon after, while exploring the free server Golden Valley, saw Mouse's name enter my local chat avatar list. Turns out she had created an alternate account to hang out on Golden Valley. Soon after, the Freedom server was opened up to free accounts, so I sent an alt through to check it out and hook up with Mouse's main character. Since my alt was brand new, she helped me out, giving me high quality armor and weapons, and even picked me up in her rowboat to save me a long walk. She let me stay at her settlement, Mousehole, until I built up enough skill to build my own place nearby. And again, guys, this is Mousehole that we're at right now. She was in Wurm almost every day, it seemed, so when she wasn't there for a few days, I emailed her on Tuesday, March 14th, 2011, and she said she had been really sick and tired with stomach flu to even open up her computer much lately, and that she had a sick leave until the end of the week. 5 more days passed, and I emailed her again, but no reply. Then 5 more days passed, and again, no reply. I had no other way to contact her, and I asked people settled around her in Wurm if they had any contact with her, but they did not. I didn't even think to contact someone in Active Worlds, even though I knew she was a gatekeeper there every Friday from when she would leave Wurm to go do religiously. Religiously, it seemed. She was definitely devoted to her hobbies, loved to document things like the Active World Citizen account and take lots of screenshots. She was friendly, helpful, but also reserved and controlled. She seemed to be as comfortable by herself or with other people. And then it just says about where they're posting that link. Goodbye, Mouse Marita, says this blog post. Oh, that's very touching. It's very touching that a player who was back here in 2011, somebody has kept their settlement going all these years, has paid for the upkeep of Mouse's settlement, Mousehole, all of these years, guys. So clearly, Mouse was a very, very special player, special person to somebody out there. To keep this going. I wonder if we can actually see from the settlement token its history. I wonder if you're able to see it. I think probably not. Only the deed owner can probably see the history of the deed token, right? Where is the deed token, by the way? Let's see if we can find it here somewhere. The mailbox. What does the sign say? South to Path of Power. No, that would be exiting the deed. Now back then, you had to have the deed token right smack dab in the middle of the deed. So that might mean that the deed token is up high on the ground here somewhere, so that they could sort of ensure that the shoreline and some of the mountain is actually deeded. Okay, we're not finding anything. Yeah, it was only later on that you could deed, that you could place a deed so that it's not completely even. That's a relatively recent thing to Wurm. So I have a sneaking suspicion that it's probably up there somewhere. Oh, here it is. The willow tree was stopping me from seeing. It was right next to this nymph statue here. So let me just see if I can see the history here. Settlement history. You are not a citizen of the village, so I'm not able to see who has been paying the upkeep to this place. But how about we add a little bit of... So it has... let's add a little bit of silver. We'll put 1 silver in here just to help out whoever is keeping this place going. Because I think that is really, really sweet and really special that somebody would keep this place going in honor of their friend. Okay, let me catch up with you guys here in the chat. Well, that was really, really nice to visit that. And the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to climb this mountain up here. We're going to try at least and see what happens. But before we do that, let me just catch up with you guys first. And Soli, I'm glad to hear that you're enjoying Wurm. I've been playing for about 7 years myself, And I love, love, love this game. I've played many, many different MMOs, but this is the only one that keeps me coming back again and again and again. I never really quit Wurm. Sometimes I take a little breathers and try some other MMOs, but nothing quite satisfies me like this game. Lots of feels in that thread, says Zalo. From what you know, people occasionally come by and donate a silver or two, mostly older indie players. And Elminster, you fucking hate mortality. You'll find the cure and give it to your dogs. Oh, yeah. It's creepy, isn't it? It's creepy to think like... You know what creeps me out, guys? Is when I see those, the old footage, the black and white footage from, you know, over 100 years ago. And to think that those people you see, like, moving around in those... And also old films as well, where the actors have already died. It is so... surreal to think that those people were alive and thrived and moved around and did things, and now they don't exist anymore. It's hard to comprehend, isn't it? So let's get to the highest point and see how far we can get up this mountain here. Yeah, it's a very sweet story, isn't it? Very, very nice that players have done that, and the other memorial that I recommend every single Wurm player, even new players on, was it on release where the Titch's Memorial was? Let me just see. Yes, Titch Memorial. So if you're a new player to Wurm, I would warmly recommend just rolling an alt character and heading down to Titch's Memorial on the server of release. It is an amazing, amazing experience. They have done some very cool things there that you won't really get that experience of going to Titch's Memorial from any other place on Wurm. And also, if you're new to Wurm, I would also recommend making an alt on these old servers for the very purpose of going to the puzzle labyrinth made by the Factional Fight Brothers. It is here by Rock's Landing. You can find information about it on the forums, or you can ask the Factional Fight Brothers and they'll also show you. It is a puzzle labyrinth, and upon completing the labyrinth, you will get a crystal ball that you cannot get actually on the new servers. And the puzzle labyrinth is still up and running, but if it ever shuts down, then you will also lose the opportunity to get that crystal ball. So yeah, we're going to try and climb this mountain, guys. I know it's a bit crazy, but I feel like doing some mountain climbing today. Let's just hope again that we don't run into any... I need to get my stamina before we start going up there. And Elminster, that's what you like about streaming. 100 years from now, maybe your descendants will be able to get to know you better. Oh man, I never thought about it from that perspective, Elminster. That's so true, isn't it? How cool. How cool, actually. I never really thought about that. That, you know, if my sons ever have children and then they have children and they would be able to, you know, if we even exist in 100 years, I have to say I feel a little bit pessimistic about the way of the world, to be quite honest. How things are going. It doesn't look too bright right now, I'm afraid. And I hate to say that, but so it looks like there's a little bit of a road going up here. Let's just take care of these monsters as they come along. Let's put her staff back as well. Where did I put her staff? Here, silver staff. Take care of this nasty old Spidey. And Scar de Vulcan says, a quote from Terry Pratchett, going postal, do you not know that a man is not dead while his name is still spoken? That's a cool quote indeed. Haven't heard that one. Elminster, you have to hope, else it's too sad to go on. Yeah. Yeah. And it looks like there's a road going up here, guys. Like this is an old road that has already been taken over by Mother Nature in the game, if you can call it that. But this clearly used to be a road, and then the pavement eventually decayed away, and the grass took over, and nature took over again. But that's very cool. Let's see how far we can get up this thing. And Dark Snoopy asks, is a staff a good weapon? Well, a silver staff is. And yeah, the silver so the silver metal has an element of giving you more damage to, I think it was predators like bears, wolves, stuff like that. And a staff as a weapon itself is one of the more popular ones, yeah. And you know, Cleavet, I have never read a Terry Pratchett book. Isn't that, that's like a guilty admission to make right there. And Drogos, you vote Monty Python, always look on the bright side of life. Yeah, I try to in my like everyday life. I definitely try to think about like the positive thing, like, you know, if something like crappy happens to me, or if somebody does something nasty to me. So if somebody does something nasty to me, I try to switch it around in my brain that, you know, hey, at least I learned what the true nature of this person is, and I don't have to deal with them anymore. Thank you so much for the follow, Dank Snoopy. Glad you're enjoying yourself here on the stream. And then if something crappy happens to me, I always try and think of it this way, that, okay, it's crappy, it hurt this thing that happened, but the good side is A, B, or C. You know, I try and always, like, I don't know if it's like a defense mechanism or what, but man, look at the view from up here, guys. Look at the view. The only thing ruining it is somebody's tiles down there. But what a beautiful view from up here, my goodness. And there's that spiky thing that we saw down below. And the games, the Terry Pratchett games, are surprisingly still fun to play, says Scarred Vulcan, if you can get them running. So are they like old DOS games, or could you get them working? I'm assuming they must be DOS games, and do they work with DOSBox? Oh, and Cleveland actually is saying, yes, the DOS games can be quite difficult to get running these days. So is DOSBox still, is that still being updated, and do they still work with that? And Holly Dragon, hello, welcome to the stream, Holly. Your friend started reading Pratchett only recently after realizing he could read two a year for the rest of his life and not run out. Yeah, I have to say, guys, that like after getting kids, after you start having kids, you just don't have time to read anymore. And then now my kids are, of course, grown up, both of them. So I have no excuses now. Oh, look at this, guys. There's definitely a road going up here. How cool. So maybe it's something I should get into, is start reading those Terry Pratchett books one of these days. I used to read a lot when I was a kid, and then I started having my own children. I just stopped reading after that. Scarred Vulcan says, Pratchett does have a solid library, plus Good Omens exists too. Terry and Neil Gaiman did a stand-up job with that book. And so they do work with DOSBox, says Scarred. Takes a bit of fiddling though. Yeah, they usually do, don't they? Like when I tried to play San Andreas on Steam, it doesn't work just as is. You have to do some fiddling for sure to get it to actually work. Not that you need DOSBox for the Steam version, of course, but it just reminded me that, you know, some of these older games definitely need like some tweaking. You sometimes need to go into the code, change some values and stuff. So it's a bit of a pain in the butt sometimes. And Dragon says, I don't think DOSBox works anymore. At least it doesn't on my computer. It's been a while, Dragon, for me since I've touched a DOSBox game myself. So I haven't tried for a couple of years. And Cleve it says, I think you could play some of the games via the Scum VM emulator. Okay, I haven't heard of that one, Cleve it. I know, Holly, multitasking. And how random is that, guys? That there's suddenly just like this this Colossus brick, and it's been renamed Erupt. How weird. How random is that? And hello there, Shaky Shade. Shaky Shade, welcome to the stream. I love your name. That is a very cute name you have there. Shaky Shade. So Shaky, we are playing some Wurm Online, which is a sandbox MMO. My favorite MMO that I've been playing for years and years and years now. And I've played a lot of MMOs. And I'm telling you, I've become very finicky and very choosy and very demanding with my MMOs. And man, look at the view, guys. Ooh-wee. We're going to have to take a screenshot of this. Look at that view. My goodness. Wow. And this is the only MMO that actually keeps my interest these days anymore. I've become very picky with them. Cinnamon, DOSBox still works for you. You use it pretty extensively. Scum VMM is also great for old Sierra games. I have to say, guys, here's another guilty admission from me, is that I knew about the Sierra games back in the 90s. Okay, there's another block. This one also says Erupt. What is up with these Erupt blocks here? I knew about the Sierra games. They were, of course, you know, legendary in the 90s. These sort of story-based DOS games. And I think, weren't the Larry series, Leisure Suit Larry, were they also by Sierra? I can't remember. But that would have been, I only played one Leisure Suit Larry game. And if that was indeed by Sierra, that would have been the only Sierra game I ever played in the 90s. I was playing a whole bunch of other games back then. But yeah, that's one of the things that I've been meaning to do. Just look at how pretty that is, guys, with the rays coming through the leaves there. That is something I've been meaning to do, is to go and try those old Sierra games. Thank you so much for the follow, Shaky. I'm glad you're enjoying yourself here on the stream. So Shaky, I guess you don't play Wurm. How did you end up finding my stream? Was it just like a random find here on Twitch? And are you an MMO player yourself as well? And my apologies, guys. My son is being quite loud there in the background. He's gotten into playing One of Us, or what was it called? One of those. Some kind of mystery game. He's been playing that with his friends lately. He's been really, really excited about it. Yeah, that's what they're playing. I can hear him saying, I can hear him saying something like, he's saying in Finnish, why would just listening to what he's saying. Yeah, I think they're definitely playing that, because he said something about, like, why would that be the one that would have killed something. He said something like that in Finnish there a moment ago. And Limewood, you read those books over and over. Humor and story with a little bit of philosophy. Always a good read. And hello, Mishio. Welcome to the stream. Where are we exploring today? Asks Mishio. So the marker landed today here on Independence. So we parked the boat up here, and we went through, and now we're actually climbing up this mountain. So let me just get a better view here. We already planted the sign. So for those of you who have just arrived to the stream, every Tuesday I do Wurm Roulette, And what this basically is we choose a random location to go and visit in Wurm that I've never been to before. And I've never been to this part of Independence. So today the marker landed over here. And I go and I plant a sign there to wherever the marker landed. And it says something like KatsPurr was here and then the date. And we already planted the sign. So we planted the sign down there. And now we're climbing up this mountain here. And let me just catch up with you guys here. And Dragon says, maybe DOSBox has an update you need to get. Perhaps, yeah. And Cleavet says the Scum VM emulator plays the old point-and-click games fairly well. Aha, okay. Yeah, I haven't heard about that one. I've used DOSBox quite a bit, but I haven't heard of that one. And Zalo, you bet there was a vein below it in the tunnel that they used the power path erupt to get rid of. Oh, maybe. I don't know anything about that stuff, but sounds like priestly stuff to me. And how cool that there's actually a road going all the way up the mountain, guys. We didn't even realize. And Cinnamon says that, let me see, where are we? Cinnamon was saying that Sierra was their publisher for the Larry games. Okay, yeah, I thought so. And Tech PK, as a kid, you liked the old Police Quest series? Yeah, I haven't played that one. So what I was playing in the 90s, I was playing the Ultima RPG games. I was playing the Warcrafts and Starcrafts. Eye of the Beholder games, Lemmings, the first Elder Scroll games. What else was there? Oh gosh, there's a whole bunch of them. Civilization, of course, I was playing. All that good stuff. And also the RTSs like Dune 2 and stuff like that. And Limewood, you preferred the old LucasArts games like Monkey Island and Day of the Tentacle. I didn't play those. I remember they were very, very famous games, though. I do remember vaguely what the box cover looked like for those, but I never played those ones either. And so Shaky, you only play MMOs, but only the ones that have RPG in it. Right, yeah. Well, I would definitely call Wurm an RPG type MMO for sure. Among Us, yes, that's the game that my son has gotten into, guys. I think that's what he's playing right now, just based on what I can hear him saying to his friend. So it's some kind of game where they have to figure out like who's the murderer or something like that. He's just super excited about it. He's been telling me I need to get into that and stream it as well. I'm not sure if it's my kind of thing, but yeah, he seems super excited about it. And King's Quest was your favorite Cinnamon in the 90s. Yeah, I need to probably give that a try one of these days because it's a legendary game. I remember that much. Oh, we are so high now, guys, that the fog is actually covering the landscape below. You see that? There's just a little bit of trees showing over there. Oh my goodness, look at that. We can barely see the landscape below. And how cool that we just happened to find this random like road going up. I literally was completely prepared to just climb the mountain using booze. And did we actually get to the top of the mountain now, guys? Holy crap. What the heck? And Drogo is totally fine. Almost no sound comes through. He needs to be able to have fun too. Yeah. We got to the top of the mountain, guys. Somebody actually made a road all the way up here. And I almost feel like cutting down those trees just so that you can have like a full view. Because of course, nature has taken over gradually, right? Oh, there's a scorpion to greet us. Let's get my helm back on as well, by the way. Where's my helm? Do I have a hatchet with me though? I think I should. Pickaxe. Oh. I guess we don't have my hatchet with me, but I could cut it down with just the shovel as well. I was just thinking of cutting down those trees. So we could just admire the view here. And Rixif, it's a great game to watch streamed. Oh, really? And Cleave it, Salmon Max. Oh, I played Salmon Max. The one with the little bunny, right? Salmon Max was one of your favorite adventure point-and-click games. That was a great game, yeah. And Shaky, maybe you'll try this game. So Shaky, just a question, something that I like to ask. Like, so Shaky, actually, let me just give you the link to the trailer. So if you check that trailer, it will tell you all you need to know about what this game offers. So just have a look at that when you have time, and you will be able to see all of the features that Wurm, the types of features that Wurm offers. And Dragon, you played Ultima Online. You were Dracus Dracinia on Ultima Online. Which shard were you on, Dragon? I played on Europa myself because I live in Finland. I played Ultima Online for 13 years, and this is very much... Wurm Online has definitely ticked a lot of those Ultima Online boxes for me and given me sort of like a similar type of experience. And Scarred Vulcan, one of the best parts of the Discworld games was the voice acting by Eric Idle. Elminster says, now if only people PvE'd corners, paved corners. Speaking of, can you curb a fence or a corner paved tile? Oh, like a diagonal one, do you mean? No, you can't do the diagonal. You can do the diagonal pavements, but you can't do a fence diagonally, unfortunately. And I know it's something that everyone would love to see someday. Of course, since Wurm is tile-based, it makes it a little bit tricky. I'm sure they could think of something, though. Let's see, pine tree. This one here. Where is the tile for the pine tree? Here? No. Yes. I want to get this view nice and clean. And Drogos, he needs to get into Wurm. We should actually just go up here and we'll chop it from the side. Yeah, I've tried to get my sons into Wurm, but they're not having it at all. They take one look at the combat and they're like, nope, no thank you. Let's chop this one down as well. And Shaky asks, did you ever try things like Guild Wars 2, Rift, Lotro? Yes. So my history with MMOs, so the ones that I played, I've pretty much tried all of them. The ones that I've played the most were Ultima Online. I started back in the late 90s, then I moved on to Dark Age of Camelot, Anarchy Online. Rift is a game I bought that back when you still had to like buy I think I bought it back when it was first released. Age of Conan, and then World of Warcraft, of course. Played a bit of Second Life back then as well. Although many people say that it's not a game and it's like a virtual world instead, but I still sort of categorize it kind of as an MMO in a way, although it's not that really called that. And then Guild Wars 2, I tried Guild Wars 1 very briefly, but Guild Wars 2 I preferred. Then I played Star Wars The Old Republic, EVE Online, Lord of the Rings. I tried many times to play that. I just couldn't handle it. Shroud of the Avatar, I backed that back in the day, but even though I was an old Richard Garriott fan, an old Ultima fan, I just could not. I thought it was just so badly done. I was not a fan of Shroud of the Avatar at all. What else have I played? Anarchy. No. Legends of Aria. I played that for quite a bit. What are all of the MMOs out there? Gosh, I've forgotten all of them. There's been so many. Most of them I've like just if I haven't played them more extensively, I've at least given them a try. Like Final Fantasy 14. What was it called? The one starting with Archage. Tried that a little bit. They weren't really for me though. Because by then I had played so many of those theme park MMOs that I was just so bored of theme park MMOs by then. Perry Hillian, what did you miss? We found our way to the top of the mountain. And how come? Oh, finally, we've gotten this chopped down. Let's go chop these ones down as well. Just so we can get a full view of everything. Kind of stupid that I'm doing this, but hey, whatever. I can't see a bloody thing. There we go. And hello, who wants to die? Welcome to the stream. Who remembers Bard's Tale? That sounds familiar. That would be one that I never did try. Who wants to die? And Elminster says, yeah, I don't know how Among Us got so popular all of a sudden. So is that an older game, Elminster, then? I thought it was just like, I haven't really paid attention, but I was just assuming it must be a new game. And Zalo says, the new volumetric fog is amazing on peaks now. Yeah, for sure. Donut Kebab says, wow, that's high. Could you actually turn off the fog? There's an option for volumetric fog at least. Yeah, we could try to see what it looks like if I turn that off, sure. So it's sort of like Clue Online, says Perry Hillian. Ah, I see. And Cleave It, Bard's Tale, and the old SSI RPG games. So you're talking about Among Us, aren't you, Perry Hillian? That like Among Us is sort of like playing Clue, but just like online. Yeah, I remember that board game from back when I was a kid, but I never had that one. I don't think maybe I played it once at a friend's place, so I have a general idea of what it's about. But yeah, I didn't play it too much. You had to figure out who was the murderer or something like that, right? Cleave It says Bard's Tale and the old SSI RPG games were great. And Holly Dragon, so foggy. Yes. We need to put up another sign, says Boogard. Hello, Boogard. Welcome to the stream. Good to see you. I need to get my stamina back up. Zalo, time to forage for some iron for a new sign. Yeah, I wonder how quickly. I have a few like tools with me. I wonder if I do have my carving knife. Let's just see what it would entail to get a new sign done. So you played on Catskills and Drakenfels. All right, Drakenfels was a European shard as well, wasn't it, though? It was the one that most of the Germans were hanging out on, that one, I think. And Soli, you played 14 years on Murmur on Pacific Shard. Oh, I see. And Dragon says Drakenfels was the server that Dracos was on, and I think they changed her later from male to female, and the name was changed to Drakenia. Oh, I see. Interesting. I never knew that. I never knew it was like named after. Was that one of the devs, or who was Drakenfels then? Or Dracos rather. Who was Dracos? Was that one of the devs or who? I never knew that history actually. Oh, no, no, no. What am I doing? No, 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 no. What are you doing, cats? No, stop it. Stop it. Stop it right now. Ugh. We're going to have to put this sand back and fix this. Because now, of course, the slope is wrong. I meant to start cutting away at the tree. There we go. Yeah, no worries, Elminster. You just focus on your work there. Who Wants to Die Catskills was your server as well. Yeah, the Wurm has a lot of old Ultima Online players, actually. Shaky says, Guild Wars 1 was fun before Guild Wars 2, but when Guild Wars 2 came, you just went to Guild Wars 1 as a museum and you didn't play there for long after that, right? And Wolfmare, hello Wolfmare. All this chopping can't be doing that shovel much good. Yeah, it's a high quality one, so it's only got a little bit of damage, not too bad. Almister says, Guild Wars 1 had such a cool approach. You loved mixing classes and ever-changing metas. Yeah, I just gave it like a few days try, but I had been playing Guild Wars, so I started with Guild Wars 2, and then I was just curious to see what Guild Wars 1 was like. So, I have to admit that I didn't give it much of a chance. And Michio is completely addicted to DU right now. EVE Online Killer, and I forget again. I know the game, of course, because he looked in my previous stream. I just forget what the DU stood for, but it was this space sim game that you're playing, this MMO right now, and it looks so good. It really actually looked really, really good, Michio. I might have to give that a try. And Wolfmare says, dyed studded leather does look nice. Yeah, I've dyed it with black, but of course my my alchemy skill is not very high, so the black dye that I'm able to make is not very black, but it gave it a little bit of a tinge, didn't it? Boogard says, Among Us is perfect for game groups that can't get together due to COVID. So Among Us came out in 2018, says Elminster. Not that old, but picked up steam in the past 2 weeks. I wonder what was the reason for that. I'm pretty sure somebody must have probably made like an article about it or something. And Shaky says, New World doesn't seem to bring the MMORPG you needed, so now you're waiting for Ashes of Creation. Yeah, I will definitely be trying Ashes of Creation when that comes out for sure. Let's just fix this slope here because I messed up with the sand. Started digging instead of... So thankfully we have this level now. And I already cut down the trees, so that should fix it. There we go. Good. We can leave that tree. It's not really obstructing our view. Let's get rid of this guy as well. And you had a 7 times legendary GM mage at the end, Dragon. So, Dragon, did you ever play Legends of Arya? You've probably heard about that, right? I was playing Legends of Arya quite actively for a while. For about a year. And then, I don't know, it has some issues. This one is actually relatively flat. So if I just go down here and we just chop this one away. Yeah, that's the road, actually. So let's just chop this away quickly. Dual Universe. That's the one that... yes, that's the name. Thank you, Shiana. The one that Michio was mentioning there. So my favorite character in Ultima Online was my animal tamer. And he would go with his dragons and his nightmare into Destard and go killing dragons and all kinds of nasties there. That was so much fun. And Shaky, you really like the trailer of Wurm Online. You're going to install it now. So Shaky, you can get it either on Steam, or else you can go get the old launcher that you have to with the old one you have to register on the website. With Steam, it's much more convenient because you can just install it right from Steam. So I would recommend doing that. It's just a little bit more convenient, and the game is free to play. Your skills will go up to 20, and they'll be capped. If you want to take your skills further than 20, all the way up to 100, then you would have to pay for premium time. So Shiana, you've been playing it since it came out in beta. It's enjoyable. Among Us. No, Dual Universe. That's the one you've been playing out since beta, right? Yeah, Michio here is completely addicted to it right now. What are you doing, cats? Don't dig. Chop. No, don't dig. Silly cats. Don't do that. Let's just drop that back down. Cat's coming up here just ruining all the terraforming. So naughty, so naughty. Zalo, Cat's won another player with her trailer. Yeah, it's been really cool to see, guys. I have to say. So for those who don't know, I was helping the Wurm team out for a few months before the Steam launch, and I was basically doing all the marketing stuff. So the screenshots, the marketing screenshots, the trailer, which we did together with my son. So my son did the soundtrack for that, and then I did the trailer. So basically put together like an idea for the trailer. Of course, having lots of discussions with the Wurm team, also with other players, like what a trailer should have in it. What would be the most important things to bring out of the game. And so I sort of wrote a script based on that, and we refined that together, and then I started building all the sets for the trailer, and then filming them, and then I did the editing as well. So I worked on that pretty much night and day for a month, and I have to say that it's been really cool to see how many new players have come to the game and have been inspired by that trailer. And yeah, I mean, it's not perfect. It's definitely not like Blizzard quality or anything like that. It's a very simply done trailer, but I think it conveys Wurm's magic quite well. It has a lot of, I think you can, because I love the game, I think that love for Wurm definitely sort of shines through in the trailer, and perhaps, has an effect on people. I don't know. And Shaky, your favorite MMORPG is Chronicles of Illyria. I have heard of that one. That is one that I haven't actually tried. And Dragon, you were interested, perhaps, but never went into Legends of Aria. You can't remember. You used to love killing dragons too. Your tailor was Tesla. So Dragon, I can just show you very quickly Legends of Aria. I'll just show you a little bit of footage. So if we go to my channel here, I did a whole bunch of streams of Legends of Aria. Let me just see if I can find a fun one to show you, just so you can see what Legends of Aria actually looks like. So this one I'm actually stealing from players. Let's see. Let's see if we can find a bit more of an exciting one. Taming a Wyvern. Good evening, everyone. So let's just see here if we can find a spot where I'm actually taming. Oh, here we're taming the Wyvern. Let me just make sure that the quality is the highest. Why did I keep going there? Quality? It's the highest quality, okay. So the visuals of Legends of Aria are very much... So the creators of Legends of Aria, they are old Ultima Online devs, and they decided to make their own MMO. And here we're out fighting gazers with my newly tamed wyvern. So you might actually, Dragon, you might really like this game actually. It has some issues still. I played it I was really, really addicted to playing this game for quite a while. As you can see, very much like Ultima Online here. I was very addicted to this game, but it still has some issues that made me not want to play it anymore. But I would still, if you're an old Ultima Online player, I would still say it's worth checking out. You'll definitely enjoy it. You'll get your money's worth. And it's also free to play. The only thing you can do, the only thing, like the restrictions as a free to play player is you can't make your own house. You can't have, I don't think you have full access to the bank, and you can't create your own guild. You can belong to somebody's guild, you just can't create your own guild. So you see that, the Gumps, the game Gumps are like similar to Ultima Online as well. These little like satchels and stuff like that. So very much like UO. It's a lovely game. It's definitely worth, you can find that on Steam. I would recommend checking that out, Dragon. And so now we got all the trees chopped down. Now let's just check what would it require us to make a new sign since we reached the top of this mountain. Let's just see here. Sign, large sign, small nails, planks. I don't have a saw with me, so that's a bit of an issue. I only have a carving knife. So to make a saw, to make the planks, do I really want to go to the trouble? Let's see, saw. That would require a small anvil. I'd have to make the anvil as well, which I don't have with me. It's too much bother, guys. I'm not gonna do it. No. I don't have the tools with me, so. If I would have had a saw, maybe then I would have gone to the trouble. We could have, what's the word? Not foraged. I always forget the word. You know, when you do it on the rock tiles. You know what I'm talking about, though. We could have looked for some... We could have... Oh, hold on, Cats. What are you doing? We chopped all those trees down, and let's just take a good gander before we leave like that. I was just sort of in my thoughts there. Let's have a good proper look from up above after all that effort of taking those trees down. Oh yes, and we wanted to try it without the volumetric lighting to see if if we turn off the fog. Let's see if we can see the landscapes below. I completely forgot to do that as well. So this is what it looks like with the volumetric fog. There's Dragon Fang Mountain over there. We can use as a kind of reference. Now, if we turn off that setting, post-process, volumetric fog, do we have to restart the... I guess we have to restart the client. Let's just do that quickly. We can shut down... No, we can't actually shut down Steam because I have FaceRig using Steam. Oh, you already got it on Steam. Excellent, Shaky. So... what does this look like without the fog? No, it's still just as foggy, guys. So that actually didn't have any effect whatsoever. It's actually kind of... it's almost like it's... is it more laggy? I'm not sure. Let's just turn it back on and we'll restart the client, I think. What does it say here? Better simulates dense fog and sun rays. Yeah, I want the sun rays back, that's for sure. Oh, Shiana, you've watched Mishio's streams. Nice. And you like the trailer. Nice, nice. Thank you very much. Glad that it was effective. Yeah, nice view of Dragon Fang for sure, Wolfmare. Yeah. And Chronicles of Illyria was kind of a scam MMO project. Oh, I have my experiences from scam MMOs. I'll tell you guys. Did anyone else back the Wild West MMO that was supposed to come out? Let's see if we can find screenshots of that. Wild West MMO. I forget if that's what it was called. Wild West Online. Yeah. Look at this, guys. What an amazing MMO this would have been. But it was also a scam. Completely a scam. It was, we didn't even get our money back. Let me just see if we can get this up and running, this trailer here. So I backed this one. It was a complete waste of money. Let's just turn this off for a moment. Let's get the audio up. Sort of like Red Dead Redemption, but like an MMO version of Red Dead. So yeah, 2018 this was supposed to come, and then the whole thing, like, so the history of that game, it was funded by some scammy guy who had funded some other games that were, it was all like some kind of setup, I believe. And like people were writing about the history. I forget the guy's name. It was some like Russian guy who did some kind of scammy stuff with games. Maybe some of you guys know about that. I don't remember the exact history, but imagine how amazing like a MMO version of like Red Dead Redemption would have been. I mean, we have Red Dead Redemption 2 online, of course, and I played that for quite a bit. Got bored of it though eventually. Now starts the trek down, by the way. But yeah, was anyone else backing that and following the forums and stuff of that? And let me just catch up with you guys quickly. Let's just actually look at a nice view here as we catch up with the chat. Like this one, for instance. Just catch up with you guys. Oh, music. Sallow, cats running around in her underwear, stealing from newbies and Legends of Arya. It's where she gets her kicks so she doesn't troll noobs and Wurm. Yeah, exactly. And Tech PK, always find it funny how you found the stream through Legends of Arya and then you turned out to also be a big Wurm player. Oh, that's cool. And also, Mr. Laggy is somebody I met in Legends of Arya as well. And now he's playing Wurm also, at least sometimes. Yeah, Shaky, we have both first and third person views now in So if you press minus, you can get, there's several different stages. So that's a relatively new change to Wurm. This came like, what was it, like about half a year ago, something like that? And Dragon, you played EverQuest for a while as well. I tried EverQuest very quickly, but it I don't know, for some reason it just wasn't for me. And I could have made a statue, Zalo. Yeah, I don't have a stone chisel with me either, though. Yeah, I didn't have one with me. Rummage was the word I was looking for. Thank you, Chef Smoke. Yes. And sort of trying to navigate my way down the mountain as I'm looking at your guys' chat here at the same time. And Tech PK asks, Zalo, being an old timer on Indie, do you know the history of Mount Awesome at all? Was kind of shocked that aside from a small spot, I'm not looking at all where I'm going, guys. I think we came down to a... Did we come down to a dead end? Or no. Is it over here? Oh gosh, I think I took a wrong turn, didn't I? Let's go back up here. And Tech PK, you were kind of shocked that aside from a small spot on the center, most of the top looked untouched. Zala was saying that was Thorgot's old place, one of the guys who lived in Aachen. So you guys know about this kind of player. I've never heard of them myself. Hello, Bun Bun. Welcome to the stream. Good to see you. And you guys all knew about this place, and it was a place that looked nice, did it? Now, where in the heck is that? I took a wrong turn, guys, clearly. How? I wonder if I could just slither down the mountain. Let's try slithering. I'm up for a little slither challenge here. So let's just get our horse to follow us. And we'll just slide down. Because I don't know, I've lost the road now. You coming, horsey? Okay. And Shaky, you heard Wurm open new PvE servers and then all the old players came to claim the land. Well, I wouldn't say it's quite like that. Oh, there's the road, by the way. I wouldn't say it's quite like that. Shaky, yes, a lot of old players like myself did claim a spot for themselves on the new servers. I would still claim, however, that a big portion of those new plots are claimed by new players, to be quite honest. Okay, we finally found the road. Let's turn off the UI. Oh, these roads. I caught up with the chat. I was just reading what you guys were saying there about the Thorgot guy and the Mount Awesome and all that. Just trying to see if anyone responded about the Western MMO. So Bun Bun, when you said super sad, that actually looked okay. Did you mean the MMO I was showing, the Western one? Or were you talking about the Mount Awesome thing that those guys were talking about? And Shaky was actually saying, but you can play, yeah, Red Dead Online. Yeah, I was playing that for several months, but after a while, all the quests and the missions and the roles that they had there, I felt like I've said to people before on my streams that I started to feel like a hamster in a hamster wheel with those roles. Like none of the roles were really very like truly rewarding. It felt like it was like just this stuff to keep you busy and keep you in the game, but without, oh my gosh, look at that view, guys. But without actually offering any true substance. I felt that it was lacking substance. But yeah, I did enjoy online for quite a while. And of course, I wouldn't call it like an MMO because if you looked how many players were online in a sub-server, because of course there was instances of the world. I mean, it was only about 20, 30 people at the same time, so you can't. I mean, an MMO is because it's called MMO because it's massively multiplayer, and that would require, we're talking about hundreds of players with massively. So all you can really say that Red Dead was like an online game, but not a massively multiplayer game. That is for sure. But yeah, an MMO Western. A Western MMO would be so cool. That it had so much potential, and I still feel bitter about the money that I lost with that. I've gotten really like cautious now about backing any of those game projects, as I'm sure many of you have also done, because there's been a lot of sort of scammy projects going on in the past years for sure. Yeah, so that's what you were commenting on, Bun, right? Yeah. Dal raised, your experience as a Steam launch baby was vastly improved by many older players. The existing community was already great and now improved with new people. With the Wurm launch, yeah. Oh, look at this. There's a recipe here. Which one is it? Goblin, liver, and onion. I think I have that one already. Yes, I do. Is that how decayed is this one? It is a rare one actually. Oh, it's pretty decayed, but still, that might be of some. I could put it on my merchant that I use for storage and just keep it there. Maybe give it to one of my alts. And Perry Hellion, you think MMOs today only have roles, classes to limit the skill professions that you can get? I can't see a thing, guys. Oh, it's over here. So that you are more likely to buy additional accounts. Yeah. Yeah, I really love the fact that... Oh, man, the view, guys. The view. We gotta get a screenshot of this. Look at that view. Look at it. Let's take a screenshot of that. How is it in first person? Let's take a screenshot of that as well. Okay. Yeah, I've never played any of the private servers of WoW myself. I didn't even know that there was like a server where it was like completely classless. Yeah, I don't know. Like I enjoy the control of, say, in Ultima Online or Legends of Aria, where you have like a skill cap. You can only have so many skills. But for some reason, I really like the way Wurm does it, personally, that you're free to have just like one character and have all the skills you want, except for the priest stuff, of course, that you have to have a different character for that. Man, it is so pretty in this area. But I think, guys, I think that this is kind of the perfect part to finish up the stream. We've been at this for about 4 hours now. We got to the very top of the mountain. We saw Mouse's memorial. We saw the beautiful landscapes of Independence. And we had some very nice chats as usual. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start moseying down over back to my ship and continue terraforming on my on the new servers just off stream. And it went so fast, Holly. Yeah, it did. Yeah, this time I'm gonna wrap up before my son starts to go to bed because he has an early work day. What time is it? It's already almost 10 o'clock in the evening. And I'm going to be back on Saturday, of course, as we do an update of the Kingdom project, of course, once again. I'm just wondering whether or not should we do one little thing before we log off. Let's at least go and see that lake down there before we wrap up the stream. Let's go see this lake. We can just circle around the lake quickly and see if there's something cool to see there. So on Tuesdays we do the Wurm Roulette oh, there's a nice bridge over there. And on Saturdays we do an update of the Kingdom project on Melody. And hello, Lithoniel. Oh, you're saying no. I think you're saying goodbye there, aren't you? Yes. We'll just have a little peek here before we log off. It is so pretty at nighttime. And Perry Hellion, that's what you love about Wurm, is that if there's something you want to learn, you just do it. You can just do it. Absolutely, yeah. So what's this place called? This is called Cineus Straits. Okay. Got a nice little marble place here. Let's see if there's access to the little castle here. Hey, Lithoniel. Nasty old troll. And I really gotta get into dyeing those lamps. I still haven't. The only thing I've done with my lamps, guys, is I've just tinged them with like a warm orangey color, just to make them look a little bit. Oh, that's such a beautiful view of the marble castle over there in the moonlight. I wish there's a way to take screenshots without her turning her head like that, like a dork. Let's take a screenshot like this. Like so. There we go. We'll just go around this little lake quickly. Just do one little last check to see what's here. And I actually, speaking of Wurm streams, I saw that there was some new names streaming Wurm tonight. I was just checking that before I started my own stream. I saw some new names, guys. So it's been really, really nice seeing all these new Wurm streamers. I have been checking some of them out. So when we wrap up, I will check to see if we can see any of those new names, and we'll go check and give them a nice little surprise raid. Yeah, this is a nice view to end off right here. Let's just end off right here, and I'll continue getting back to my boat. So guys, let's just put the ending screen up there for you and roll those ending credits, and I will just check to see who is actually streaming Wurm right now. Let's see, let's see. So we have Uncle Pyron. Let's go check out Uncle Pyron. Let me just check it very quickly to see what this looks like first. See if
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, taming and the
Yeah.
harvesting. I like the harvesting levels ramped up just a little bit so you can
Yeah,
get
let's
a
go
little bit
raid
more
this
per
guy.
harvest, so you're not just
Let's go surprise him.
feeling
I
like
haven't
you'll
been to
never
the
get
stream
enough
yet.
of anything to do anything.
So guys, thank you all so much for stopping by tonight. It's been an absolute pleasure to have a chat with you once again. And I hope you enjoyed that Wurm Roulette. And we will be back on Saturday as we do an update for the kingdom once again. So let's go check out this Uncle Pyron guy, see what he's all about. And I hope you all have a great rest of your evening, great rest of your week. And I will talk to you all very, very soon, guys. Bye-bye.
Just a little.